going? Welcome
Hey everybody.
back to JD Streaming slash the JD podcast slash Unplugged.
That's right.
I
We back.
love all the slash. I'm your
Oh yeah.
host, the Darren G,
And
followed
I
by
am
my
the Jovan. And
hey.
I don't know if you can see my background, but check the other room. Did I make it to the studio?
Looks like you're in the studio. Yeah, are you in the studio? What the
Yeah.
heck?
Well, listen.
Are you next door to me right now?
Well, listen. I wanted to give you a little flicker of hope as we enter 2021, but fortunately, no. I'm
Oh,
not. It was all facade.
the hell?
I'm still trapped. I'm still bedbound by the woman who kidnapped me. Yeah, sort to say.
Damn,
I
bro.
learned how to do a new trick though. She doesn't bind my feet anymore because my feet can do this. All the bone are gone because she smashed them. So now I can
I
go
was
crazy.
just about to ask. I was gonna say, how have you recovered? Looks like
I have not. She's continually
limbless.
broken my bones. So
Wow.
yeah,
Damn.
but it's been 2 weeks. She hasn't given me internet until now, until I proved that I was a good boy. So now I
Okay.
get to do this podcast. Yeah, I'm not calling the police or
Wow.
anything. This comes first. Podcast comes first, then my own safety comes second. Yeah,
Wow.
and also she's
Wow.
standing right there. She's just staring at me angrily. Yeah, but
Just
I'm a
making
good boy, I
sure you're
swear.
doing what you say.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
I'm
That is
still captive, but having a good time, making the best out of it. Right,
you gotta
silver
find
lining, all that stuff.
well, I'm on headphones, but you gotta find an escape route somehow. Get your ass out
Right.
of
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Yes, I should definitely eat more apricots, he says. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, she's
Yeah.
smiling.
They're
She
really good.
agrees. Yep. Okay.
Um,
Good, good,
how
good.
was your Christmas and your New Year's?
It was good. It was all very typical. Yeah, yeah. Aside from being bound here in my head, how in the fantasy world that I've created for myself,
Yeah.
I saw like I had dinner Christmas Eve with my girlfriend's folks, and then I did my family. And so they say to not be traveling and meeting the family and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But if you're isolated, then you don't count as like an outside person, right? I don't know. I
No.
don't know if there's a
No.
better way to think about it,
No.
but if you're isolated for 2 weeks before meeting the people
Yeah.
and you don't have any symptoms, then you're not in. I don't know.
But the chances of you both being isolated for 2 weeks are slim to none.
She works from home.
So you guys haven't left her house for two
No,
weeks.
no, we haven't met any friends or anyone.
No, but you haven't left your house for 2 weeks. I'm not saying meet anyone. I'm saying you haven't went to a store in two
Yeah,
weeks. There you go. That's not isolating means you can't leave your house for two
yeah,
weeks
that's true.
at all. The both
You
of
can be
you.
as protective as possible, but still
Yeah.
get it.
So
Yeah.
no. Nice
Wah,
try though.
wah, wah. Yeah. Damn.
I
I'm
didn't. I
part of the
stayed home.
problem.
I stayed
Yeah,
home.
yeah, yeah,
I did
yeah.
it all like I did it all video. I did it all video.
All the Zoom stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did
Yeah.
a Zoom meeting with my larger family, and yeah, said my hellos and
And then
Christmases.
yeah.
And
And I did like I made like a dinner at home just for
oh, you
myself.
did? Hey, there we
Yeah.
go. Talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah, I did that. So
nice. What'd you make?
I made like just like super simple. I made like a roasted chicken because I don't
Okay,
really
nice.
like turkey. Like I do, but it's a little dry.
Right. Yeah.
So I just like chicken. So I did
Yeah.
a roasted chicken. And then I did Korean beef as well,
Yeah.
like beef strips. And then I did like a meatball and like I don't know. It was like a meatball slash like sausage potato like baked something. Like I baked sausage and meatballs and potatoes all together with like herbs and stuff.
Yeah, nice.
And then we had corn, peas, cranberry, gravy, Yorkshire
Yeah.
puddings.
Yorkshire puddings. Yeah, that's very
Yeah,
British.
mashed potatoes, everything
Yeah.
basically, like just all the little
Nice.
fixings, all that
Well,
jazz.
you say everything. Yeah, it's like it's everything and then some. Because yeah, it's you're adding a little British cuisine to it as well. So yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then for dessert, we had brownies with ice cream.
Nice. Very good.
What
Classic.
about you? What was your dinner
Um,
like?
it was turkey instead of chicken. Otherwise, it was like everything. Um, yeah, it's like instead of potatoes, it was mashed potatoes. Literally, otherwise, that's it. Yeah. And then, so I'm talking to my ma, and I'm like, why is it that I never had cranberries? Because cranberries has not been a part of my life until my girlfriend.
Cranberry
And I was like,
sauce or
"What is
cranberry?
this?" Yeah, yeah, cranberry sauce. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
not
just
like the existence of cranberries. I was like, "What are cranberries?" No, no, no. But like it being part of like a Thanksgiving slash Christmas meal, right? I was like, "Fuck's up with
yeah.
this cranberries? Like, what the hell are you guys doing? You're ruining everything. What is this?" Right? And then
Right.
and then I came to learn that I'm the one who's out of the loop, and the entire world uses it. So it's like I'm the
Yeah.
one acting weird, being like, "Why you guys having cranberries?" Right? It's a staple to like a Thanksgiving slash Christmas meal, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, and then it wasn't until this year where I was finally like, "Ma, what have you done to me? Why am I this freak who thinks that cranberries shouldn't be in anything? Is it for a
Yeah.
reason? Do you not like cranberries?" Because as it turns out, I don't, and maybe it was conditioning from a child. And she was like,
Yeah.
"Nah, it's just another thing to cook, so I just didn't cook it." I'm like, "What? You did it out of convenience? Like, it
Yeah.
wasn't because you
There
didn't
you
like it?"
go.
I'm like, my entire life, I never experienced cranberries. I didn't even know that was a thing. And she's like, "Well, at our extended dinners, there were cranberries." I'm like, "Yeah, but so are like other weird dishes, you know? It's like I don't know what my aunts and uncles are cooking up, right? Like they'll just make weird dishes. I didn't think cranberries was a staple." So
Yeah,
yeah,
cranberries like a staple. Like that's kind of weird. That's what I find
my
it
entire
weird.
life,
Like
I
I
never.
find it odd, not weird, but like you know what I mean? I find it odd that you're only cluing into this now, though.
Like a few years ago, but I just finally asked the question. I was like,
Oh,
"Why
okay.
was I raised without the crayons? What is the reason?"
Yeah, usually it's just because you're not used to it, like not used to having it in the family. It's like
Yeah,
people that like drink eggnog and things like that. Like it's either you like brought up
yeah,
drinking it or not. It's not like you're just gonna
yeah.
all of a sudden just like. I mean,
Well,
some people probably would, maybe.
yeah. What about you with eggnog?
I have it the type where I don't know. This happens to me quite frequently with foods. It's like eggnog. As a kid, I used to drink a lot. That I had too much of it to the point where I hate it as an adult.
Oh, no kidding.
Like
Yeah,
it's like that for eggs. Eggs for me like are like that, and like just
yeah.
certain things like fit like certain types of fish. Like
Right,
just I had
right.
it too much as a kid, and I'm just like ew. Now as an adult, it grosses me out.
Yeah, no kidding. That's
It's
weird
so
because
gross.
yeah, that's me with or I guess I would still have it on occasion, but clementines, little baby oranges. I
Yeah.
like OD'd on that stuff as a kid. I ate so much. Like my mom would buy a bag of baby oranges, and I would take the bag out of the groceries and then like run off to the basement and just eat all of them to myself. It's insane
Mm,
because it's like, I'm one of five
yeah.
kids, so obviously it's there's some competition when it comes to food distribution, but I just fucking stole the whole thing. I was like, I was the bad guy. I was the one, I was the little shit. But I was like, I need all the oranges. And I didn't mean to, honestly. I feel like it's because I have like an addictive personality. It kind of got ahead of me, and I ended up just binging and eating all of them. And I was like, whoops.
Oh
Yeah, it was the early signs, I guess. Yeah,
darn.
but
Oh well, just say that those are early signs.
yeah, that's what I can do. That's the excuse,
It's
right?
funny.
I wasn't being an asshole. It was just
Early
early signs of my
signs.
addictive personality. Yeah, but
So like, what's
so
so funny?
yeah,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, 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 you. All
Well,
right,
I
all
was gonna
right.
say what's funny about my family is like they invited me over, and I was like, no, I'm not coming because like, first of all, I'm cooking my own food, and we're supposed to be social distancing,
Yeah,
and they're like, oh yeah, whatever. So I I had this thing where like I would go to like my family's house, and they would never cook enough food. They never ever cook food. That's why I
okay,
don't
yeah,
go. So
yeah,
like I'll go like and then I'm waiting around for food for hours. One,
yeah,
and then there's never enough.
yeah. That's no way to live.
So yeah, no. That's why like when I make my meals now, there's absolutely everything. There's too
Yeah,
much almost. It's like
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. Well,
have it,
have
so like I have
leftovers.
control of it. Yeah, like
Yeah,
every single thing I'll do,
yeah, nice.
except like carrots. I don't like carrots, but
Oh,
if
you
you
don't like
wanted
carrots?
parsnips, we forgot parsnips.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh well, what can you do? But
What?
still, when my sister sent me her pic, I was like, "Girl, that's just a chicken breast on a plate." Like what?
You guys are missing out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. I mean, hey, it's everybody does it different, so it depends on the.
True, it's
Yeah.
true. My dad doesn't like to cook. Like he hates cooking.
Right. That's me. So I feel bad for any future kin that I have, because neither like my girlfriend and I, neither of us are like love cooking.
I love it. Well, yeah, I
So
grew
that's
up cooking, and
yeah,
I love it. I want to have my own rest. Well, not anymore, but I did want to have my own restaurant.
yeah. Hey, it can still happen. It could be like a franchise thing, or all you gotta do is sign some papers and then
Yeah,
slap your
I'm
name on it.
working.
Yeah.
I'm working on like this like catering thing with my couple of my buddies from high school. Like we have it all set, but then like COVID just got so intense. We're like
Mhm.
it's hard for us to meet because like one of my buddies still lives at home with elderly people, and then
Yeah.
the other guy lives upstairs and he lives with elderly people too. So
Yeah, no kidding.
super hard for us to meet up when there's like all these regulations and rules, and that's why it's hard. That's why people, I'm telling you, like I don't blame you for doing what you're doing, like you went and
No, you
your
should.
family, because
Well, like nothing ended up happening, right? Nobody's got anything, and plus, I got a test like the week before, unrelated, like for work related stuff, but
yeah, but
yeah.
like
So
there's people just don't like at this point. It's just like this is why I was so like frustrated to begin with, like from like prior, because
yeah,
like right now I woke up this morning and it's constant like Canadian like authorities or like Canadian like higher up um
yeah,
are constantly going on vacations and like shit like this,
yeah. Well, the
and they're
finance minister
constantly getting
resigned.
caught.
Yeah. So that's yeah, that's some
It's like
breaking news that
why?
happened a couple days ago.
You know what I mean?
Um,
So when people hear
yeah,
that type of shit, it's like stop. Like they're gonna do what they fucking want to do, but it's like it
yeah.
just like I'm type of like a conspiracy type of person where it's like I don't believe in conspiracies, but like I like to hear people's like point of view and things like that. And like obviously
Right.
there isn't a conspiracy behind any of this bullshit, but it's more
Yeah.
of like how do you expect people to fall in line if nobody really is following the rules? Really, that's
If
what
the
I don't
authority
get.
doesn't give a fuck, it makes it look like a conspiracy theory when
Yeah,
authorities
that's what
aren't
I don't
following
get.
it.
Like, this is why people come up with these weird and all these assumptions, and like,
Yeah.
because they're bored and they don't have like, what are they, you know?
Well, yeah, they're being forced to do stuff that the people who are forcing it aren't doing. Yeah, that's the other thing.
Exactly. And like, on top of it, it's like every minute I'm just hearing people losing their jobs. Like, every single
Yeah.
minute I'm just hearing, I don't have a job. I don't have a job. Oh, this just closed down. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, awesome. 2020 is done. Finally. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, yeah. It's like we're still sick, but at least in 2021 we'll get better, right? The whole world will hopefully when the vaccine hits like mainstream, like everywhere, then things get better. So we shall see.
Yeah, it's super sad. It's super sad that that's like, this is the world we're living in right now.
The state that we're in, yeah. The entire
Just
year. Who'd have thought it was the entire year? I figured by like September or something there'd be vaccines rolling out, but it's
longer,
just happening
man.
now.
They just lie. They lie every time. That's the thing. They just lie. I don't know why though. It's so weird to me. It's just like I don't get it. I don't get why they would just. I mean, whatever. I
Well,
don't
they're
like
they're
talking.
trying
I don't
to
like talking.
calm the masses by like promising something, and then they just don't deliver. It's just so weird. But
Mm-hmm.
what are you gonna do?
Right? It's like it's really strange when that happens over and over again, and that's like my frustration. Where I think I have like issues with like authority. Like I have like I don't like being told what to do kind of thing. And it's not that I don't like being told what to do or I can't be told what to do, because like I've worked my ass off from the bottom all the way every time to the top. I always start at the bottom, always make my way to the top.
Yeah,
So it's not like I have privilege or anything like this. It's more of just I've worked hard, and it seems like the people that work hard and like are the minority don't really have much say in anything. Meanwhile, they're the ones like giving up everything. Like it doesn't make any sense.
yeah, yeah,
So that would be like for me as a business owner, like if I had a business right now, I would be
yeah.
furious. I'd be absolutely furious with like my government. I would be
The
like
regulation, yeah, yeah. Having all
it's
these people
insane.
say nobody's allowed shopping for small businesses, and then they go on a vacation and get COVID, and then it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like super like I don't know, it's depressing to thinking
yeah.
about it. So like hopefully 2021 has a lot better stuff coming, brighter future, and like it's just like man, like even like oh my god, it's just so many things when you think about it. It's just even the movies of
Infuriating. Yeah,
2020,
yeah,
just
it's one of
everything.
those. It's better not to think about it, kind of a thing, because yeah, it'll just get you upset. But spinning on the other note, so two things have happened since we've been gone. One was Christmas, or the ending of Hanukkah, right? I mean, it's the 8 days I think led up a bit before then, but also New Year's.
Yes.
So yeah, what what'd you get up to? The Earth
Yes.
rotated once. How do you feel about
Again,
that?
For the past like maybe 3, I think maybe this will probably be like the 4th year.
Mm,
I haven't celebrated New Year's.
yeah, yeah.
Like the year before this, I was in England, but I was in the air. So like time was going
Oh,
back and
what?
forth, and like I
What?
was in,
No way. That's so
yeah.
cool.
So like it was like New Year's, but we're in the air, and it was like no, everybody was
Chasing the
sleeping at like
sun or trying to
7
get
a.m.
away
Yeah, it
from
was
it.
everybody was
Yeah,
sleeping, and
yeah.
it was just the weirdest thing. So, and then that was like that was the last time I remember like New Year's.
No
Other than
kidding.
that,
Yeah.
I just like fall asleep. I just don't.
Yeah.
I feel awful. I feel like I need to like I don't know. I'm so like antisocial. I don't like being in social groups. I don't like
Right.
being uncomfortable because everybody's usually drinking and I don't drink, so they feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable around me, so I'll feel uncomfortable around them, and like it's not me anymore. I don't know. I just rather focus on my business.
Yeah. 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 That's the better way to do it. Well, because honestly, like, it's an excuse to celebrate. It's not an actual reason to celebrate. Because it's like,
Yeah.
what? Why did we choose? Because the choice of the rotation is arbitrary. January 1st is when it's like what the planet's like slightly over there or something, right? Like if it's a circle, there's no end or start to it. So we just chose this is the end and start is this point, January 1st. But like it could be in summer. Like imagine if the new year happened like right at the end of July or something. Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
crazy? Like August 1st was the new year.
It wouldn't be anything different than now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all just made up stuff that we just
It's
all
arbitrary.
follow and don't really
Yeah,
question, right?
yeah,
That's where like certain people now will say, like, I've been saying this honestly probably my whole life, and this is
yeah.
why like I don't celebrate New Year's really, because it's like New Year's just like a time where people can really just reflect and like say this was
Mm,
good in the year and this was positive, and going into this year I want to be doing these things, and
yeah,
very little people do those things. So
yeah, yeah. It's the
why
ultimate
just like
letdown.
for me it's just every day for me, no matter what I want to, like I have like my, for instance, like I'm looking at my wall, I have my post-its and things like this. It's like
Yeah.
every day is a resolution for me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's the better way to think about it. Yeah, exactly. You choose
Yeah.
when you want to reflect. It doesn't have to be on New Year's.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
literally,
reflecting
yeah, it's like,
every day. Like I'm panicking. So this morning I woke up,
yeah.
I wore like a gray Puma shirt to bed. I
Okay.
woke up and like I just my art like my shirt is just dark gray because I'm just soaking sweat.
Oh my
'Cause I'm
gosh.
just so
Yeah,
nervous. I get so
yeah,
nervous. I get so nervous when I think about like my future, like because I have so many things in plan,
yeah,
right? But if I don't do those things and like stay in order, then I won't make the money that I make to support myself, and I won't like. It's a lot harder than like just waking up and say, okay, I have to go like to a job. And I'm not saying that
yeah.
is
Off I go
hard. I'm not
to
saying that is
Ford or
hard
whatever.
because I did that
Yeah,
my whole life.
yeah,
But I'm just saying it's more of like that's where my drive comes from. That's where I don't really have that New Year's like resolution thing, celebrate New Year's thing. It's just more of like I have a goal
you
in my
do that.
mind
Okay.
in
Yeah,
a certain amount of time and years, and that's where I'm trying to get to A to B. And
yeah,
if that happens in this amount of years or whatever, then all right, cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How about you? What do you
Um,
do?
well, I did not party. I can tell you that, obviously, but it was just my girlfriend and I. We were just flicking through. Well, first we were just doing our own thing, right? We were just watching movies, whatever, leading up to midnight, and then by the time it got to like 11:40, we got on the YouTube app on our smart TV, and we're just looking for a good station to watch. And it was really weird because at first we check out Times Square because that's always an obvious one, and it was, and there's always sponsors. It's always about like corporations trying to advertise during it. So I think it was 2019 going into 2020. It was Planet Fitness was the sponsor, and they were just everybody was like told I guess that you got to wear stuff that's Planet Fitness. So it's like yellow and purple as their colors, and like you put on the hat and you put on the shirt and everything, and you got those little banging things, and there's wavy inflatable arm feeling tube men everywhere. And then this
Oh yeah.
year, we check it out again. It's the same sponsor. It's Planet Fitness. I'm like, is this like foreshadowing that the same thing's going to happen in 2021? Because last time Planet Fitness
Oh.
was here repping, we got COVID. So hopefully not. But they still had their wavy inflatable arm flailing tube men. And the only thing was, instead of the street full of people, because they were still having like concerts and stuff, there were just these boxed areas that could fit like maybe 3 or 4 people, and it's like I guess you had to pay like really high cost VIP stuff to be outside in these boxed off squares. And so there's all these people in the squares, and they still have to have their mask on. It's like, how is this a good time? Why would you pay money for this? It's crazy. So it's just a completely vacant street, except for these little boxes like scattered throughout. It was very strange. It was very weird looking. It was like the emptiest I'd ever seen Times Square. It's very strange. But yeah, so we checked that out for a little bit, and then we're like, all right, this is creepy and depressing, so let's get away from this. And then we checked out some other places. We checked out London, we checked out Japan, and then we just kind of landed at Canada. We'll represent. So there was just like a little concert with no audience happening in Toronto. So we just watched some singers do their thing, and then we checked out the CN Towers fireworks display. But I don't know if it was live because I didn't hear anything. Like I'm in Toronto, like you figured you'd be able to see the lights or something, right? But I couldn't, so I don't know if it was like from a different time or if it was actually live. But yeah, you could see fireworks just shooting off the CN Tower, all crazy.
Yeah, I saw the clips of that. It's quite interesting.
Well, it seems dangerous. It's like, how are you allowed just shooting that out at like the buildings like around you? Like it seems like you should have to
Yeah,
do it over water. Like, isn't normally fireworks right on the harbor or something?
but like I think it's because it's really tall, right? The CN Tower is really
I mean,
tall,
I
so it's
guess
not
yeah, it's
really
like hitting
like
the clouds and yeah, it's not
yeah, it's not
coming
really
right
like
now.
hitting near any of the buildings. And like the I think like fireworks, like once they like blow up, they're like it's not
They're
much
done.
after that. They're like
Yeah,
done.
true. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
in Wonder Woman, she's like flying through all the what like the fireworks. I'm like, man,
yeah, that's true. That's funny.
can
Yeah,
her plane
actually,
get like blown up or something? I
yeah.
don't know.
So you seen the movie or just the trailer?
Oh, I saw the movie. I saw it.
Yeah, same. So what'd you think of it?
It was boring,
Yeah, that's
and
fun.
like I thought I was watching like Cats at the end. I was like, is this Cats?
Oh my God, yeah.
All
So
right,
they
I'm
and you can
OG.
tell, yeah,
I'm OG.
they changed the lighting of that fight scene because she goes to a tropical island and then clouds just cover it in the middle of the day and it becomes super dark and then they start fighting.
Yeah,
That
and like
clearly happened because the CGI was so bad that they needed to mask it. So they made the entire fight scene dark until they were done, choking her
yeah.
out or whatever, and then she went inside to deal with the salesman guy, and then it becomes normal and the clouds clear and stuff, and yeah, it's just kind of funny.
It's cheesy. It's just too cheesy for me. I don't know. I'm the OG. I like the original one. I mean, it wasn't
So
bad. It's just
cool.
like, bro, why'd you put on this whole uniform and these wings and all this stuff so she can just like drop them off in 2.2? Like, what is the?
Yeah,
I
literally,
thought
yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
isn't
You
this
just
supposed to be the
ruined that armor. Wasn't
strongest?
that
Yeah, isn't
armor?
this supposed? I
Yeah,
don't know.
literally.
Sorry guys for the spoilers, but there's not much to spoil. If
Well,
you want to
whatever.
see a
Yeah.
movie of 2 hours and a half of like a love-ish story, kind of. I don't
Also,
know.
no. It's
Be
kind of
my
like a
guest.
horror story. Think about it from the perspective of the guy who got possessed by the spirit of the other guy. He literally is
Whatever his
like
name.
living his life, and then he's just gone. He's like dead, and then someone else took his body.
Yeah, it
Like
was
we
just
never got to figure out what's going on in his life. Like all of a sudden he comes to, and like his wife's left him, and he's fired from his job because he didn't go to it for like 10 days because he's walking around with Wonder Woman with someone else's
yeah.
soul in his body. Like that's kind of fucked up. That's terrifying.
And like the bad guy at the end, it has like no consequences. He just
No,
like
it's just he gets to hug his son. His
it's like
son
yeah,
comes running
where's
out
my
of the
son? It's
bushes.
like
Yo,
somebody needs to
okay,
whoop this guy's ass. Like he just
yeah,
made all this 2 hours of this bullshit. We watched two
yeah,
and a half hours of this bullshit because of him.
yeah.
Like
Yo,
whoop his
so
ass.
what if none of that actually happened and he is like insane? Like he's just seeing his son, but in real life his son like died, and like he's just like in a psych ward and like they're taking him through court and stuff, and like they're
That's how
gonna
you wanted it
execute
to end.
him, like they're
That would
sending him
have
to
that would have
Guantanamo
pissed me
Bay.
off if it ended like that. Actually, would you? Have been, I'd
Yeah.
have been like, that's bullshit. That's almost like when like in like for instance the Amazon wilds or like in Lost at the end of Lost they're just like oops it was a dream. It's like no bitches, you can't have it just be a dream. It can't be a dream, or you can't just be dead. I don't know if that's what happens in Lost, but I'm assuming that's what happens in Lost,
Yeah,
where like
yeah. I mean, I didn't even finish the last season.
after like 8 9 seasons you're watching it and then it all turns out to be oh we're all crazy, or oh we're actually just like hallucinating because like I died 18 episodes and years ago. Like what? It doesn't make any sense. That's bullshit. That's a cheap way out.
Not about it. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not into that type of stuff. Like, it needs to be real.
yeah.
If not, it didn't happen. So why
Yeah.
are you showing the story if it's not real?
Okay, I got another
I don't get
tangent for
that.
you. I actually, when I was 17 years old, I had a dream
Okay.
that was like so realistic that when I woke up, it took me a second to even realize like where I was or like how old I was. Like I had like ruptured my identity because of this dream. It's not like I was a different person in the dream, but
Okay.
I had a dream that lasted for like 15 years, and then I woke up from it. It was like the most insane experience that I'd ever had.
But it
And
was
obviously
15
thinking back,
years in the dream?
yeah. Like in the dream, that was just my life now. Like it wasn't a dream, right? I was just living my life. It's like I graduated high school. I started looking for work. Like I got work. I was like talking to like old friends and stuff, like meeting them outside of the city, like all this kind of crazy stuff. And
Okay.
then I woke up, and I was 17 again, and I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like looking at myself, and I'm like waking up like in my parents' house, and I was like, what is going on? Like it was just such a jarring experience actually waking up from that dream. So I was like, no, I'm an adult
Sounds
now. Like
weird.
what's happening?
Yeah,
It was
that
crazy.
sounds
And
weird.
then for the rest of the day, I was just like wandering around because it was like on a weekend. Like I didn't have school that day, and I'm just like
Okay.
all discombobulated. And like I'd meet up with my friend, and we're like hanging out at a park and just like swinging on swings. And I was like, man, I'm telling you, like I graduated high school and I found work, and like we had lost touch, but then we had like met up and talked, and like so much stuff happened, and then now I'm back, and like it doesn't feel right. Like I feel like that was real. Like I don't know how to feel about this, and I've never had a dream like that before. It was just that one time when I was 17, and still to this day I haven't had a dream like that. I haven't retold that story in like I don't know how long, like 5 6 years. Like it's been a while,
Oh
but it was a
man.
very strange experience, and I
Did you and
haven't
your
had any
friend lose
like it.
touch?
Um, right now, kind of.
So maybe the dream brings you guys back together. You guys could
Who
reconnect.
knows? Yeah. Well, there are things that didn't happen that happened in the dream, so I was able to discern that I was not dreaming the future. It's like there's tons of
Oh,
stuff that didn't end up happening, right?
okay.
Like regarding my high school graduation and stuff. So I was like, no, it was just a machination of my mind. But the fact that my mind put me so
That's cool
deep
though.
in the deepest dream I've ever had, yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. And then I just had this creepy sensation like for the rest of the day. And like my friends started getting it too. We were both just getting chills, and we're like walking around the street just like feeling like this weird sensation, like there's just this thing that's like washing over us. It's super weird.
Sounds
Very
weird.
strange.
Yeah,
And like
sounds sick.
I yet to research it, so I don't know. I'm sure that people have had that experience before where they dream like for a super long time and then they wake up. But it was the longest dream I've ever had. It literally felt like 15 years. Like I just was an adult.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is so strange. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I just figured I'd throw that in there because it was relevant to our convo. But
Wow, I
yeah.
have nightmares almost like for the past like maybe like 2 3 nights I've been having those horrible nightmares. It's brutal, and I don't know what it is. Did I mention to you like maybe like last time?
Yeah.
Oh my
Not.
god,
I don't know if it was the specific
brutal.
dream or just that you had it. But
Yeah, it's
what
just brutal. I don't know what it is. Like I'm just trying to like figure it out, but like it always like takes place at my old house that I grew up in,
yeah.
or like the school that I like went to school like in elementary school in for a short period of time
Yeah.
at this house. And I don't know what it is, but like so many, like maybe 8 out of 10 nightmares are like they take place there. It's the weird, and it's like literally like it's like real. Like I'll
Yeah.
wake up like I can't breathe. Like I'm like I'm sweating. Like it's brutal. It's so
Yeah.
weird. I'm just thinking like there must be something wrong. Like I don't know what it means. Like I don't know how to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, because I guess it could be one of two things. So it's either
Help
you
me out.
are, yeah, like it's just general anxiety about not moving forward. So you're just like the nightmare is that you're stuck in the past, or something did happen and you don't know what it is because it's like repressed in your mind. But like, how are you supposed to know? So either something happened, or
I don't know.
it's this fear like because you want to move forward. That's your biggest motivation right now, like as you're saying, right? Like you have these goals that you're trying to reach, you're trying to move forward. So all of these
Yeah.
recurring nightmares or nightmarish dreams are just pulling you into the like in the exact opposite direction. The subconscious is a fucking asshole. It'll do everything in its power because it knows all of your insecurities, and it'll just placate on that in your nightmares. It's like, what the fuck, bro? Why are you against me? You're my own brain. Like, what are you doing right now? It's just like,
Yeah,
oh, you
it's
have a fear
strange.
about not moving forward. Okay, let's play into that and just make you like make that real. It's like, what the fuck? What? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
The
it's
brain, man. The
really
brain's a real asshole sometimes.
it's so strange when you mention that. Yeah, I'm just thinking like, I guess yeah, I guess that is what it is. I want to move forward, but I just like
Keep having
I
dreams
feel
living in the
I
past.
don't know. It's just the weirdest thing, and they're
Yeah.
so real. Like I always feel like I'm like Wolverine. Like I'm gonna wake up with just like
Oh, right. Just
I'm
have
just
to
always having nightmares.
stab somebody in front of you. Yeah.
Like because you know like he's always like having the memories of like where he was like what happened in his
In the
past,
original
you know,
trilogy, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like he's just constantly having nightmares, and every day he's trying to like he wakes up, he's trying to figure out a piece more, piece more. He'll get like flashbacks, and it's just like it seems like that's how it is for me. It's like I'm just trying to like wait till the right dream comes along where I can really just figure it out.
Finally
Um,
opens up. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but I really don't know. It's horrible. I had one last night again, and I had one the night before that, the night before that. I even had one night before that actually. So it was 4 days in a row I've been having them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, and it's like I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, but I guess it's just like life, you know? Life just
Yeah, yeah,
is what
yeah.
it
Life is a real thing. It's out there. It's out to get us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy but that the brain does that though.
yeah, it literally does the opposite of what you want. If you're trying to actively go towards something, your subconscious will pull you in the other direction. It's like trying to bike with the wind against you. It's like, why are you doing this? Like, what is the point? I mean, maybe it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think what a silver lining of that could be. Like, maybe um, the point of finding peace in your mind is to not be pushing towards something, but to live free or something. But it's like, then what's the even point of trying to have goals? To just be like a homeless person if you don't have any goals. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do
It's really hard. Like I've been like reading like articles and like
you?
just I don't know, just like little passages of like how like people comment things like that of like people just mentioning how like they feel like I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's like they'll it's like it's almost like a good way to put it is like it's almost like a feeling of like never being satisfied. Like I
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
few
yeah.
I have a feeling like being 5%. I don't know why I have that feeling, and I think it's because I lack a certain thing. So like I noticed that like I don't know, I find like in my life I get like certain like little like hints and keys in certain ways because like I find that I live my life kind of like alone. I don't know how to describe it.
Mhm.
Like I don't really have like someone telling me, "Hey, like do this," or like I don't really get advice from anybody.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just like
yeah. That makes
constantly in my
sense.
head. I'm always just like, "Am I doing this? Is this right of me to do? Like, what
Mhm.
would I do in this? Like, who? Like, I don't really have anybody to kind of look up to like give me those situations and like I don't know.
For
So
yeah,
I just
advice. Yeah, yeah, you don't have a
like
second
I do
opinion.
everything on my own. Yeah, I've been on my own
Yeah.
since I've been like 18. So
Hmm.
I think I have like a situation where I might have. I think I don't know. It's just like I think I may have like some sort of like PTSD of like uncertainty of like when something feels like it's good or like it feels like everything's fine. I'm scared that something will just come instantly and take that away because that's
Yeah.
normally what happens. Like that's what has happened. So
Yeah,
like my
that's what
mom
has
passed
happened.
away, then it, like
Yeah.
it direct my family. Then like from there, there's other repercussions, and then it happens, and then it's like finally I like kind of recover from all of that. Like
Mhm.
maybe like 3 years or so, almost 3 years into it, and I'm now like sober, things like this, where it's like okay, I'm getting my life back.
Yeah.
Then my dog just dies instantly. That was like the only thing that I kind of had that was like I don't know, like grounding me to like feeling worth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know
What
how to
just
describe it. Like it's the only thing like I felt like I don't know how to
well,
describe it. It's just the weirdest thing.
daily harmony, right? I mean,
And if
yeah,
I'm like still grieving over my dog, like I think it's been like my dog died like I think last April, maybe
yeah,
last April. I think she died. Yeah, in the
okay,
beginning
yeah.
of April. And like I'm still like I can think about her and I'll just start bawling instantly. Like It's like I wake. So I'm like, I had even dreams like within the past 2 weeks where like I dream about her and then I'll just wake up and I'm bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
It's either like that or like a nightmare or something. Like I'm waking up
Right, right. Okay.
gasping for air. Like I literally feel like I can't breathe. Like it's like this I can't live like this. So I'm just trying to figure out. I think I might have like some sort of uncertainty of like not knowing when's okay to feel like to be comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
because if I get
Cuz
too comfortable, then it'll get taken away.
yeah, yeah. That's what life has taught you, so there's no way that you can placate that unless you find an example of the other thing happening, right? Well, so
So,
so how long have you been roommates with Aiden?
uh, not long because he had to leave. So like
Yeah, that's true. It was gone for a good amount of time.
he
But I
had
guess
to leave
before
for a
then.
bit. So before that, less than a year. It was like maybe like 8 months.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
during that time, I didn't leave my room basically for like the whole
Right.
time, right? So, and
Oh, like you didn't hang out with him?
he was really okay with it. No, because my dog had died. So
Right,
I
right, right.
literally it was like my dog died, and then I moved into this
Oh, right.
place.
That's what you're
His
saying. Yeah,
roommate
yeah.
moved
That's when you
out.
moved in.
It was like
Yeah.
within the same like I moved in like May 1st or
Hmm.
like June 1st, and that's when my dog died like April 1st.
Yeah.
So it was like just so quick. And
Yeah.
then from that point, I was in a really bad depression. Then I quit my job because I
Mhm.
just couldn't even go out anymore. So then I didn't. Then after like I didn't have any money to pay anything, so I lost all my money after doing working so hard on my drop shipping prior to
Yeah.
working full time job, and I was only doing it for the dog, like because the dog
Yeah.
would never leave. I thought I mentioned I told you this before.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dog
Yeah.
would just wait for me every single day, so I would just feel like I have to like it was my mission to like just get us out of there, right? So it's like the point that I can get us out. It's like, oh, I have enough money. I'm settled. I was even gonna like ask. I met with the owner the day before she died. I met with the owner and said, hey, like I'm just kind of like at a halt right now of like I'm gonna move into a new apartment. Um, I would like to maybe go a little bit further with the business. Is there anything that maybe I can invest, maybe like 10, 15K and just be something? Not, I don't need to be an owner, but just something where like, let me just, I want to put my foot in the door because I'd like
Yeah.
to own my own restaurant at one point. I speak to him that day
Yeah.
because I'm just like, life is just really good right now. I've saved up money, da 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 da. I'm
Yeah.
sober. You've seen that I'm doing well. I'm managing a restaurant, and then my dog dies the next day. So it was like, so now I feel like I'm in that same position where it's like I have enough money. I'm starting like a new business for myself right now, which is really
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So I don't have to be doing social media anymore, kind of this stuff.
Mhm.
Just expanding for myself. But
Yeah.
that's where I now I feel like some sort of like uncertainty of like, am I gonna have enough money? Is this something's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
last time you had money saved up, you hit a certain amount, you hit a certain goal, something happened where like,
Yeah.
and it happened even like with Aiden. Like Aiden had to leave, so it was like at a
Right.
point where
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
I don't have any money right now. I'm literally working on my own business. I finally just get like, I lost all my clients
Yeah.
because COVID happened. So then I had to like kick it into gear and then work even harder. And like it was just, it's like I just feel like I could just never catch a break of like breathing, like being like, oh, I just want to just like relax, you know?
Kick the feet up. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
so
I just feel like I
it.
can't ever do that.
Yeah. I think the more important. Well, obviously that's a good goal. You should have that goal, but I think the more important thing is to just be able to get a good night's sleep. Among anything
Yeah,
else, right? Yeah. Yeah. That's like
it's
a
hard. It's hard, honestly.
one of the initial stances. But yeah, it is because, like what you said, right? Because you can obviously like life has treated you differently than other people, right? I mean, obviously you know that there are tons of other people that have not gone through as many hardships as you. So it's you know that there is a different situation. You can just get stuff and then not have anything bad happen. So it's more a matter of you just haven't personally experienced that yet. But like you know that it's got to exist. Like that is a situation that can be viable out there. It's just a matter of finally getting it, where it's like you can have something good happen to you and not have something bad happen to it's not even evening the odds. It's like making it worse. It's like you have a good thing and then you just get dropped by something. So
Yeah,
it's I mean, like most things, it's just a matter of time. So in this case, you're in the middle of it happening right now, right? So now it's the holding your breath. I mean, we're in 2021 now. It's You got nothing but the future looking ahead of us. Hopefully, nothing bad happens because people are making jokes that 2021, like you know how the Mayan calendar was supposedly ended on 2012. They're like, oh, they
Yeah.
screwed up the numbers and it's actually 2021. They flipped the one and the two, so
Oh.
the apocalypse is gonna happen this year. It's like, come on, man, we don't need a fucking apocalypse this year. We already had it in 2020. Now we are over it. Let's
Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like I'm working on it, and it's like that's what 2021 holds for me. I think 2021 holds for me is like me really taking hold of my business, because it's like
Yeah.
2020 was like it just took off, and like
Yeah. It's
I
down.
have never been so successful, where it's like I was working so hard prior in my other job, and I barely, like, I had money, but like not as, I hate talking about money all the time, and that's like the thing too, where it's like I don't
Right.
have any other like I don't have any other like passions or like any other things, because I'm just
That's not
constantly
true.
scared. I'm like constantly scared that I'm just like not. I'm never gonna have something to like fall back on. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
I feel like like
Just
watching this fucking movie made me like this Wonder Woman movie made me like
right.
certain things. I'm telling you, like certain things really hit me in a certain way. It's like out of the whole movie,
Yeah.
the very end, that ending part really hit hard for me, because the whole like Sandlords thing is people all the answer is always more, and like on
Yeah.
my Instagram, like that's like my slogan is like the
Right.
only thing I'll settle for is more. Like it's like the
Yeah.
weirdest fucking thing, and like I remember like way back in the day, because like I used to be an influencer, so I
Yeah.
had like I had 20K on like one following, and I remember I posted a picture and I used that caption as a picture, and I remember this person commented on it and said, "I hope more is enough." And I
Oh
always
my
think about that. And
gosh.
they commented that 3 years, like 2 years, 2017, and I
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
think about that.
Totally.
And that's my slogan now. And I'm just thinking
Yeah.
like, man, like you need to find out somewhere where you could just be like happy and like settled, and like you have so much more than like I'm just like never like I just like I think it's just like I need to find something. Like I think I need to get another animal or something. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. 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 Yeah.
Like
Well.
I feel
Well.
like
Yeah.
that
You need to get to a point where you're ready for that. I guess emotionally. Yeah.
it's like mentally I can't, like money is not like they say, like, okay, get this. Like money can't
Right.
buy you happiness. Agreed. Agreed with that, but it can buy you security. So like
Right.
I'd rather have money in the bank, in my bank account, so I could feel secure. I can just be panicking in my bed constantly, because when I
Yeah.
didn't have money, that's what I was doing anyways, and it was just even harder because I didn't have any money. So it's like
Yeah.
at
Well.
least, you know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Well. I want to say the money can't buy you happiness only relates to rich people because there's a threshold. Like clearly, money like constantly worrying about like penny pinching and worrying about money like being someone who makes like 22,000 a year or something versus someone who makes 40,000 a year. The person who makes 40,000 a year isn't as worried, right? Isn't as stressed about their
I
livelihood as the person who makes 22,000 a year. So clearly there is a capacity where stress is alleviated when you have more finances. But there comes that breaking point, which I've heard is around like 100K, like under 100K, like close to that, like 70 to 80,000, that kind of a thing. That's like as happy as you can get. And then once you pass the 100K, then people start treating you differently because they like want your money, and you become someone where everyone else has less than you, unless you surround yourself with millionaires, and then you're not making yourself happy because now you are like this lesser thing, and everyone else around you is treating you differently. But yeah, past the 100K point, you're not gonna find happiness anymore, and it just more troubles increase by having more money. But then under that point, you're just like I someone who's like in the rich middle class. You're still part of the majority, but then as soon as you pass the 100K, you're part of like the one percenters of the world. Even though that doesn't sound like much, that's how poverty works. The majority of people are.
I'm trying to hit that by the end of this year. Simple.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where I'm like,
Well,
it'll
what, the
never be
80K
enough.
or over 100K?
The 80 to 100K. Like I'm starting. Like I have already had a plan. I had a plan. It's I already have a plan set in motion. It's already
Yeah,
in motion right now. I don't want to
yeah,
say too much because I would rather just happen, and then it's like, oh, see, I told you.
yeah, yeah. Exactly,
Because
exactly.
I already have that like plan in mind, and that's why. it doesn't. It's weird for me. It's like I just constantly am panicking always. Like I'm constantly like worried always. Where it's like I'm worried that this won't like I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like because I don't have like the security of like going to work every day, it's like I'm even more worried because
Right,
and even
right.
though I have the money, like I have money to sit back on where I can not don't have to be worried, I'm worried that something will come along and have to take it all. So
Yeah,
for instance, like when my dog died, it was on life support. I had to put her on life support. It was like 5K just like starting. Then I had to get her like cremated, all this stuff. So it was like a lot of money.
yeah,
And I was like literally like all my savings that I had worked when I was working a 9 to 5 job. And that's why when I quit, I was like, I am never ever like because of my dog, my dog was at home the whole time and I was out working for a certain amount and all I had was like a couple $1,000 to like invest in or whatever. Like I had maybe like at most like 15,000 to like
yeah,
invest in something and then like 5,000 for myself. So like 20K I had saved up
yeah,
just to like invest. Da, 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 da. This is like 3 years of me working my ass off.
yeah,
So I do this, and then like it's meant for me to like have a plan of like okay, we can get here, da, 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 and then the dog dies. But I'm working this whole time. I'm like, fuck
yeah,
this. I quit then. I'm never
yeah,
ever doing this ever again. Like, why would I waste my time? So now I'm like, my worth is $100 an hour. Done. That's what I want my worth to be by the end of 2021. Like 2020, that was like I need to be
yeah,
paid
absolutely.
$100 an hour because I will not let that ever. And then I think that's like my struggle with authority, where
Hmm.
like people will just do whatever anyone says and nobody questions anything. Like nobody questions anything. Like how is it that like we're paying so many taxes every year, right? But like aren't taxes supposed to be for the people? Like aren't they supposed to be going back into the things that we need? Like so like the
Yeah,
roads and things like this, which is
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yes. But what about happens when there's a pandemic? Like why is that same money not supporting us? Like I don't
yeah. Why
get
does it
how
not
like
come
it doesn't
back to the
work out.
people because the businesses are closed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't get that. So it's like they
yeah,
can only offer a certain amount of money. No, offer is enough until there needs to be the pandemic is completely done and everybody's alive and it's over with and done. That's the way I would see it. It's just
yeah.
like that shit pisses me off and like goes back to like my first job. I'm asking my dad. I'm like, Dad, I want to get this car. He goes, You can't afford this car. You only make this amount of money. I'm like, What the fuck do you mean? I just got my
Then why
license
am
at
I even working
16.
here? Yeah,
Like, why am I working? What am I supposed to do? He's like, You got to get a better job or you need and I'm not understanding like how I can get a better job, but then I'm understanding that the world is a really really big place and there's so much money in the world and so much people have so much of it that
yeah,
some kids just wake up and they have a Bentley just waking up because their dads are freaking oil miners or their
yeah,
mom
yeah.
is a freaking
Well, that's
a
got to be the craziest
Scientologist or
one.
something that like we're
P- yeah, people who make passive income has to be the most aggravating thing in the world. They just own a billboard and they like don't pay anything, but people constantly pay them. And the same with being like a landlord. Well, a shitty
well
landlord
that
that doesn't do anything. It's just passive income. They just
that's what I
make
do.
money
Now I
every
do
day.
that now. So I rent
Oh,
out an
no.
apartment. I have my
Oh,
own
you do that?
apartment yeah, I have an apartment in downtown Hamilton on
Oh, I
Baldwin
didn't know that.
Street. So I rent that out. And
Yeah,
then I was doing Amazon. So I was
yeah,
mentioning
yeah, yeah. I know about that.
I
Yeah.
do gloves. So that was making me like maybe like 1.5 USD a month, as opposed to
Okay.
before it was making me like $14 a day. Basically, that was what
Right.
it was
Yeah.
making me, or like maybe like sometimes it'd make me like $50 a week. That's like what it was making me like on consistently when I was working in my job.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was coming home and working my ass off onto that. And that's why I never understood what daylight savings was. Because a customer comes in, he's like, oh, I'm so tired in my face. Like, not respecting that I go home and I work my ass off too. He goes, oh, yeah, you're
Yeah.
just here thinking I'm just like some chump that just works here. I go, you didn't lose an hour, you didn't gain an hour. You're just a lazy fuck. Like, so many people in the world,
Yeah.
so more than majority of the places in the world don't even do the time change. And I'm thinking, oh, that makes so much sense because people are asking me like because like I chat with people from China, I chat with people from
Yeah.
Russia. They're saying, why do you do that in Canada still? I go, I don't know. Why don't y'all ask me? Why are you
Wait.
asking me?
Wait.
Because
The
I don't know.
the
People
daylight
just
savings.
follow rules because they think
Well, I could tell you the reason behind it. I think it's for farmers. So obviously
no, it's not. People think it's
it's
for
for
farmers.
day
Why? What does
because
farmers?
when we lose daylight, which happens in the wintertime, days become shorter because the sun's arc over the Earth is shorter, and it's like bigger in the
What is
summertime.
it?
So when
Yes.
you have less time, they just change 6 a.m. to be when the sun rises. So it's like
Yeah.
when the sun
No.
starts rising at 7, they just do daylight savings. Now the sun rises at 6. So it's like it's
No.
we're not gaining any daylight, but the work day starts later, and then when it comes back to spring, then it goes back the other way because we're getting more
Like
sun. So now the
that's
6 becomes 5 a.m. because now
but
the
you
sun's rising
okay,
early.
but what okay. What is the point of that though? What is it's
For
not for fun.
farmers.
Like you can ask look it up. I want you to look this up afterwards.
Okay.
No farmer's gonna tell you that 1 hour putting the clock forward or back is going to make a difference whether they're waking up and doing it. What does that have to do with crops? Crops don't follow time. Crops
No,
work
I'd
by
say
the
more for
sun.
animals. Yeah,
Well,
but
what
it's
does
it's
that
like
have to it
the
doesn't it
crows
does not
coo in the morning,
coo they
sunrise.
coo at whatever time the sun rises. Does it say there's
Yeah.
no time involved? The crows are still going to crew
No,
when
no.
the
So
sun
time is arbitrary, right? That's the same thing as the New Year. We made up time. Time isn't real. It's
exactly.
just it's a way that we measure movement, right? Movement is the universal time that exists. But as far as like clock time
Correct.
goes, we made that up. So the daylight savings, it's arbitrary to begin with when 6 a.m. is, when the business day starts or whatever. And that's like for truckers, for like a million different things around the farming industry. And again, it could be
Yeah.
used for something else, but I'm saying for farmers. So if the sun rises at 6 a.m. in September,
Correct. At a normal time.
but then it doesn't rise until 7 a.m. in December,
No,
and they
that was not
they,
how it would
they still
be. It
have
would
cows.
rise. It when they're changing the clock back, like for instance, think of it my way. Like I'm the type of person that I wake up every day normally at 4 or 5 a.m. Every
Yeah,
day normally 4 or 5
yeah,
a.m. They now change the clock back. Now I'm waking up every day at 3 4 a.m. Why?
yeah.
Why is that happening? So that the sun can now do what?
So the sun is always doing what it's doing, but as soon as the arc
Exactly.
throughout
So
the year
why are
gets
we
shorter,
changing the time? But why are
because
we changing the
the
time?
sun rises later. That's all it is. The sun rises later
The
and
sun
earlier
doesn't
depending on
rise
summer and
any
winter.
later though. It
It
doesn't
does.
rise any later though because
Yeah,
it does not.
it
It
does.
rises the same time it would rise.
No, no, no. But the sun's arc gets shorter and longer depending on the season because of the curve of the Earth. Since the northern hemisphere is leaning backwards in the wintertime, the sun's arc is
Correct.
shorter. So we only get like
So
a
what does
six
that
hour
have to
window of
do with?
sunlight.
So what
It's
does that have
shorter.
to do with the farmers?
It's shorter in both directions, right? It's like the middle of the day is always the
Ah,
middle of the day,
no,
and then on either side, it's longer in the summertime
no,
and shorter
bro.
in the winter.
No,
What
I'm
do you
telling.
mean?
Ask
That's a scientific
a
fact.
farmer. Ask a farmer. It has, but what does the? I'm asking, what does the time have to do with the farmer? Because people will go, it's
For
for farming. But then why are people in Russia, the places that don't practice it? Why are they? Why are those farmers not doing it?
because their scheduling doesn't isn't they just don't have the same scheduling system that we do. Our scheduling
As
system is
what?
based off of
But
trucking and shit like that.
no, because they used to do. There's places that used to do it and then stopped doing it when it realized it's pointless. The main reason is for, I think, is for businesses. And people just think it's for farming because that's what we know and we don't
That was
question.
the top of business back in the day, but nowadays there's a million other businesses.
Businesses need to, they want you to make it seem like the day is longer, that you have more sunlight during the day so that you can go out and still shop more and be out later. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, instead of it being 6 o'clock and it's night, it's now 5 o'clock and it's still day. No, it's just leave the time the way it is and it's fine. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up right now for you and I'm gonna say,
No,
right,
that's okay. I'm just telling you, there's less daylight in winter and more daylight in the summertime. So they're trying to match the start of the day.
but
So when it becomes shorter,
more
then they push it the hour forward.
but more places don't
Yeah,
practice it than do. That's the part I'm
yeah,
trying to explain. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
and that's totally fine.
fair
And
enough,
again, I'm saying it's all
fair
arbitrary.
enough, fair
Yeah.
enough. But then what? Why are crow? What does it matter
All right,
what
why are we
time
still
the
doing it?
crows are crowing, or
Yeah,
they're crowing when the sun comes up, and the
yeah,
sun's coming up now later than it should. So I'm looking at my watch, and it's telling me the sun's going down in 4 hours.
yeah.
When I why would this? Aren't I? Isn't it supposed to be daylight savings? Aren't I supposed to be getting more sunlight?
Right.
Right?
I
Isn't
don't
I
know why
supposed to be
that's
getting
called what
more
it's called.
sunlight? So this is what
Yeah,
I'm confused at. So I'm looking at my watch right now. It's 12:12, and it's telling me the sun's going to go down in 4 hours.
Yeah.
So that means the sun's going to go down at, well, it'll go down just before 5,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
opposed to it going down at 6, like it
Yeah.
normally would.
Yeah.
So we're losing an hour of sun.
Well, if you start it earlier, then that just causes, yeah, like it's about the start, not so much the end. So like if farmers start working before the sun rises because they have to meet the trucking schedule, so they're waking up at 6 even though the crow hasn't cawed yet because it won't do that until 7. Now they're dealing with a bunch of sleeping animals for an hour. That's the only thing I can think of.
No, that doesn't make any
And
sense, Joe, because I wake up when the sun comes up. I don't even use the clock. That's the thing.
yeah.
The clock's irrelevant.
Wait, are you a rooster?
I'm just the type
Rise
of
with the
I'm
sun.
more of like a morning like type of person where like I
Yeah.
wake up like at a certain time where I'm now looking at the sun and I'm thinking, why is the sun taking so long to come up?
Yeah.
But it's like, oh yeah, that they put the clocks back. I'm like, this is so stupid. This doesn't make any sense. But it makes sense for my buddy down the street that's saying, oh, I get an extra hour of sleep because he's working so long in the day that when he gets home, it's so now dark. He's thinking, oh, he lost an hour. But it's like, no, they just tricked you by putting the hour behind. So now the sun's going down sooner than you think it would.
Yeah.
And you're coming home still at 6 o'clock, but the sun went down at 4:45, and you're thinking, oh, fuck, I lost an hour. So I got to, no, it's the same thing. It just the
Yeah.
sun would have went down at 5 and you would have got home at 6 instead of it going down at 4. Now it's just
Yeah.
he's waking up the next day being like, oh, I get an extra hour of sleep. But for me, it's like I lost an hour almost because it's like I want to wake up. I don't want to wake up at 3 a.m. I want to wake up at 4 or 5. That's when I start my
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
So why, as a farmer, would I want to wake up now at 3 a.m. instead of 4 or 5? So I'm thinking myself as a farmer.
Right.
If I would normally wake up at 4 a.m., now we're changing the clocks back for me to wake up at 3. The
Well, you
sun's not
don't
coming
wake
up,
up at 3. Yeah, you got to
but
wake
it's
up when the sun does.
but the sun doesn't come up any sooner. It's coming up now earlier, yes, but not really.
Yeah. That's the whole thing is
Because
just when the sun rises. But so again, I'll say this. I definitely didn't create it and I'm not like pro time change. Obviously it'd be better if we just didn't do anything and we just like let everything happen the way that it happens. like
it just
even
be
how a calendar works. You know how we have leap years?
yeah.
So leap years, it's just natural reality is that the Earth rotates around the sun, and our calendars don't work. And
Okay.
so, because of our failing, we create a leap year to catch up with the actual rotation that's happening. They go, oh, once every 7 years, there's an extra day or extra week in February or whatever the hell it is, right? It's like that doesn't like,
21st, 20th, or something.
yeah, and it's like that's not necessary. Like it's just weird
Yeah.
because it's like reality isn't changing. It's like reality is constantly doing what it's doing. The Earth is constantly spinning exactly how it is, the same trajectory. But our system just doesn't work properly. If it worked properly, we wouldn't need a leap year. We would just have a proper calendar. But because we just aren't good at calculating, or because we've had this calendar for so long, we don't want to change it. We just create the leap year to
And that's what I'm saying by
to
like
offset the trajectory of the Earth's
people
rotation.
don't question a lot of people don't question things, and that's what I'm saying by
Yeah.
like I can guarantee you, Joe, after this, go look up and they are interviewing farmers on the street. Like there's like things on this is things now where like people will debunk it.
Yeah.
They'll go ask people on the street, why do we do the time change? The farmer. Everybody will say the farm. Everybody will say the farmers, and then you'll go and ask a farmer and go, why do they do the time change? I don't know. I don't know. Ask any farmer. I don't know.
Yeah. So no. So it's
I'm telling
conspiracy
you. I'm
almost. You're
telling
saying
you.
like it's
It's almost
insane.
like a conspiracy where like more and more places are not doing it as
Yeah.
opposed to because if people are realizing why are we doing this? This doesn't make any.
Yeah.
If you don't change the clock at all, there's no losing or gaining an hour.
Yeah.
Duh. If you just work for yourself, then you don't have to worry about waking up earlier or later. You can just wake up whenever you want. You can wake up when your crows crow. That's
Yeah.
the whole point of like a farmer. A farmer does whatever they want. They run their own schedule.
Well, they have people like truckers that come to pick up their produce, and so they need a time to know when they're
Okay,
coming.
fair. Yes, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And then yeah, but
But they
otherwise,
control all of that themselves. It's like, okay,
yeah.
here, let me even too. Let me just look something up really quick and see what it says.
Because the only other thing I can think of is, yeah, they could just change nothing, and then the farmers wake up at 6 a.m., but then the sun doesn't rise until 7, and then so they just are hanging out with their cows, sleeping. They just go in the pen and sleep with them until the sun rises.
Like this.
So what is this? The following states are not observing DST: Arizona, Hawaii, American Samoa, Guam. Oh, so these are all areas
And
near
they
the equator.
and joining Nova
Arkansas,
Scotia.
Nevada, Tennessee have also passed the laws.
There's
Massachusetts,
there'll be more.
Puerto
They'll
Rico, Nova
soon. I'm telling
Scotia.
you, Joe. Soon
Yeah,
it'll be nobody doing it because it
yeah,
doesn't
and
make
that's
any
totally
fucking
fine.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely not a DST fighter. I'm just trying to
Yeah, like
understand
dude,
why it was
it's like
implemented in the
yeah, it's
first
like
place,
I don't
even if
know.
it is
I hate
flawed.
it.
The reasoning
It
behind
makes
it.
me so mad because it
Yeah,
doesn't have any reason. That's the thing. It's just like give me just a specific reason. That's it. There's never ever a definite answer because I've asked many people before. Oh, it's always the farmers. I go the animals have lived without time for many of years. So don't tell
it's
me
just a
that
circadian
they wake.
rhythm. You follow the sun.
Exactly. You just follow the sun when it wakes up. That's why.
Yeah.
That's like why they have like scarecrows and things like that to scare away the other animals. But it's also used for time. That's like when you stick a freaking stick in
Like
the
you
thing. You
watch the
can tell.
shadow.
You can. That's
Yeah,
what
follow
farmers
the
do.
shadow. Yeah.
They're telling me they're switching that back an hour. Who
well,
does that? Like who does that in their
obviously,
right
no, you
mind?
can't. You can't switch a shadow back. Yeah.
It's people that it's like with money. It's something to do with the
right.
money and the industry and businesses five and closing at 5 and
Right.
6. It's a
It's
nine
like
to
stock
five
market.
job. Like a
Yeah.
nine to
Yeah.
five. So like a person that goes to work for 9 to 5 is gonna be like, oh, daylight savings, yay! I get to sleep an hour earlier because that's what we would always think.
Mm.
But it's like if you just left the clock the way it is and went to bed an hour earlier the night before, you would be better. You would be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And the reason why I didn't understand it was because I had worked for 24 hours straight. And then I went
Oh.
into work the next morning and he goes,
Oh, you're an hour
the
later.
guy's like, oh, like, da 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 da. I lost an hour. Da, da, da. I'm so exhausted. I go, I don't get it though. This was the first time that I didn't, this is when I questioned it. I was like,
Right. Or before
I
then, you
don't
didn't
get it.
even think about it. Yeah.
I didn't ever even think about it. I'd never
Yeah.
even thought about looking it up. Nothing. This guy was just so like, he just made me feel like this. But I
It
was
was
like,
just a piece of shit, and you're just like, who the fuck is this
yeah.
guy?
And I was at home
yeah.
working on my Amazon. I've been up for
Yeah.
24 hours straight. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking the
Exhausted.
clock went back an hour. So if I go to bed when I go home from work, I guess I didn't
What
lose
you?
anything
Yeah.
or gain anything. So why
Yeah.
did it? What does it matter then about the time change? I'm so confused. That's the one part. That's the first time I understood it. And
Yeah.
then I looked up research where it was like, um, you'll have to like. This was like a while ago. I had
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
looked
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
This is so I don't take this verbatim, but it was saying something where the time change, yes, doesn't make sense because it screws up a situation for people flying or trying to schedule things if they're in New
Sure.
York, Paris, or something, because when the time change happens for these certain places, it puts things in the future, in the behind, in the future, in behind, and huge
Yeah.
creates you weird time gaps where they just had to cut it. It doesn't make sense.
Right. Right. Like, yeah, they can get
Right?
on a
It
plane.
wasn't thought out. It's like a
Yeah.
plan that wasn't thought out.
Yeah. Well, same with time zones in general. Time zones should be perfect lines, but instead they're based on territories, so they like scatter and like do all these weird
Uh,
things where it's like, bro, like you can see the Earth rotating in the perfect line of the shadow of when it's nighttime and when it's daytime,
hmm.
and yet but we have time zones that don't match that. It doesn't match reality. So there's tons of examples of us. The only reason we do any of this stuff is for scheduling for businesses or for the presumed
Yeah.
the idea of control of
Yeah.
like everything is under control. This is what it is. These are the rules, and this is how everything is, even though it's literally not. And it's like our broken human version of what actual nature is doing.
Yeah.
Our broken understanding or our broken system. Yeah, like leap years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like leap years should not exist. They don't exist in nature.
They
We
don't
created them because our
exist.
system of the calendar is broken. We should just
Yeah.
create a better calendar that incorporates longer stretches of days or something, right? Where it's like, the
Right.
end of February is 25 hours long. Like we got to do
Yeah.
something to fix it where we don't have leap years. I
But they
don't
just like create it just to like okay.
because they
It's
don't.
just a
Yeah,
lot of
because it's
things.
like yeah,
A lot of things are like that. Like I remember, like back in the day, like I'm sure your parents might still say this. They've always told me never to go to bed with a wet hair or to go outside with wet hair because you'll get sick. And that's a complete like
Oh, because the
it's like
temperature
one of those
drops. And,
yeah,
yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like you need to have a virus in order to get sick. Your hair
Yeah.
being wet isn't going to make you sick, essentially. And it won't
It's a
be like
catalyst.
it could get you sick essentially, but it's like it's not going to the point where it'll get you like sick. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, that's the same as saying like, if you don't wash your hands, you'll get COVID, even if you self isolate. It's like no, well, the people give you COVID, so you got to wash your hands because of the people. But if you're self isolating, you don't have to fucking wash your hands. You can fucking have shit all over your hands and say okay. I mean, you'll get sick from that, but it's like it's the people that get you sick. Same thing with the
Yeah.
cold. You know how they say when it's cold out, that's why it's called the cold, is because when it gets cold outside, you get the cold, but you're only getting it from other people. So if you were
Yes,
to be
exactly.
isolated in a cabin, it doesn't matter how cold it gets. The most you'll get is a sniffling nose. You won't get sick. You'll be perfectly
Exactly.
fine, which is so weird to think
Exactly.
about. Where it's like,
Because the temperature does drop, so you will get like effects where it's like, okay, yeah, I have a sniffle, or like you'll start chattering or things like this, where it's like,
yeah,
yeah, obviously that will happen, but it
but
doesn't
you
mean you're
won't get a
sick.
cold.
Where you're like, yeah, you're not going to be like sick.
A sickness is only person to person. Yeah, or animal to person in the
And
case
there's
of
so many
COVID. Yeah.
exactly, and there's so many things where I will tell an adult, like I can, that's why I don't go to fan. I'm so happy. I don't want to say this in a positive way, but like COVID has helped with so much. Like this year, I didn't have any anxiety. I didn't have any anxiety about having to get invited to parties, nothing. I can just stay
Right.
at
Yeah.
home and
Yeah.
not have
Yeah.
to decline everybody. This time of year, I get so panicky because I have to decline everybody. Come here, come here,
Right.
come here. Oh,
Right.
just come here,
Yeah.
come here. It's
Yeah.
like I just really would just like to just stay home and just be normal. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
have to go.
Leave me the
Please,
f
please.
alone.
I
Yeah.
really I appreciate it though, 100%.
Well, yeah.
So
Yeah.
many
Because it's
things you
love.
want
It's
to,
people
but it's
acknowledging
just
you.
like
Yeah.
I just want to just be peaceful, and it's like
Yeah.
so many things where like COVID is just. I think a lot of people are really starting to. That's why so much had happened in 2020 because so many people are at
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
and they're just constantly thinking about overthinking things and they're looking at things, and that's why so many conspiracies and like all these things are just arise. So many things, so much stuff happened
Yeah.
in 2020 where it's like people just have too much time and too much access to knowledge on their hands, right? They
Yeah.
can debunk something or they can. It's just right away,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
And they got nothing but time. So yeah, it's like there was a surge in um conspiracy theorists that were like soccer moms. That's like the stereotype that they called them, like Facebook soccer moms that were conspiracy theorists. And it's because there are these people that are housewives. So there can be house husbands, of course. It's not like it's a female specific thing, right? Because if anything, I would say most conspiracy theorists were men beforehand, but in the advent of what I like to call Trumpism, there's like this huge swath of these soccer moms that are obsessed with conspiracy theories, and it's
Mm,
because they're not currently working. So they like drop
yeah,
their kids off, they clean the house a bit, and then they just go on Facebook and start looking up all these insane
and
conspiracy theories.
bashing,
So
and
it's as
bashing.
if they were living in a lockdown, right? They had nothing but time, and so
Yeah,
they became insane and like, like looking up all this crazy shit and going down these rabbit holes that like turn them into crazy people that are like, oh, Bill Gates is trying to give us all poison vaccines. It's like, come on, like
yeah.
microchips
I read
freaking.
about that and I was
How
like,
the
are
fuck do
you
you believe
people
that, bro?
crazy?
Like, come
They
on.
said he was no. They didn't. They said to originate that he started it.
Oh yeah, yeah. He started COVID so
Remember,
that he
he
could inject
started
people
it.
with vaccines that are like mind
It's
control
like
devices. Yeah. I mean, I'll say this: the best thing that has come out of that insane allegation. Like, I'm sure his life has become a living hell with all these people giving him death threats. But
yeah,
there's tons of funny memes of people being like when you get your first, when you finally get the COVID vaccine, and all of a sudden, like their eyes, they start getting like Microsoft ad pop-ups and stuff.
oh my
Because it's all
gosh.
like Bill
Windows
Gates.
98 Vista.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It goes and then starts shutting down.
Oh
Yeah.
man, those are the days. Those are the days. I'm using a
It's like,
Windows computer. I still like them. I
me
have my
too. I got an
preferences.
HP.
I have
It's run
my
by Windows 10.
preferences. I have a Mac, and I think they work great. The Mac I
Yeah,
know will. I've had the Mac literally for years and years, and it still works. Prime, I know this computer eventually will like be slow and shit, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's what you get, right? It's like,
It's the give and take. Yeah, pros and cons for both sides. Yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of weird how
I
it
really like
came out that
it.
way. How there's this two-party system, Because don't they say that two-party systems are the worst things to have? In gaming, there's
Oh,
three,
they say.
right? There's PlayStation, there's Xbox, there's Nintendo. When it comes to computers, there's only two, Apple and Microsoft. When it comes to phones, there's two, Android and Apple. Right? Like, obviously, there's a million other companies, but they all are forced to choose sides or just be this freelance company that's in the middle that's just like placating to both sides. But it's just like, yeah, and then obviously same with the political party, except not so much in Canada. We do have three parties, but the NDP is kind of weak. It's on the liberal side, right? It's like both of those, like liberal and NDP, are like on the left, and then conservative is on the right. So it's still kind of a two party system, even though we have three
It's
parties.
always a it's always a split. Yeah,
It's
it
always
seems like
this yeah.
it's always you gotta choose, right? It's always you gotta pro mass, no mass, like pro mass, no mass. You know
That's
what I mean?
bullshit,
Like
though. No, because other countries didn't do that. That's a specifically Western thing.
that's like
Is being
people
pro
just
mask,
they
anti
have to
mask.
just like they always have to just pick a side. You know, it's like just
Bullshit.
there shouldn't there doesn't always have, well, you never know. I don't know. People are just like I swear, 2020 it was a blessing and like at the same time such a brutal like it was for me it was a blessing in disguise somewhat, but
Yeah, yeah.
at the same time I learned so much about myself and like learned that going to 2021 will be less worrisome, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, even if there are stresses to it, it won't be the same as what we went through. And if it
yeah,
is, we have already experienced it. So
yeah,
if we got another goddamn lockdown after this one ends at the end of January, at least we'll know what to expect, right? It's not, hopefully people don't get the fatigue because you know how people were getting that near the end of 2020, where it's like the second lockdown happened in Toronto and people were just not giving a shit. And like right now, the numbers are worse than ever. So it's
yeah.
like
Because I
even though
told
it's
you, it
more
doesn't make
dangerous than
sense.
ever, they are being less careful than ever because they've just been experiencing it for too long. So they're like tired of it, and they're just
It's
like, I
just
just want to go.
tiring.
Yeah,
Like the people that are just behind you that are like, yes, yes, yes. Meanwhile, the person that's like working at the store is like literally going, "Do you have this, Sim? Do you have this?" To every single person, but the person
yeah.
that's like waiting in line that can't even respect the person to like let them finish speaking. They're like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 no, no, no." It's like
Like
just
what?
like you know
They're
what I
having
mean?
a
It's
way
like
worse time than you, and you're gonna treat them like
yeah,
shit. Yeah,
it's
it's
like
ridiculous.
insane, right? It's like
Yeah,
bro, how people just
some
it's just
bullshit.
like it's like the world is just and that's even too like right now, Joe. Like I've like
Yeah.
again, I feel like that's why I'm kind of like I woke up this morning and I'm like I had to like usually what I do is I have these like microfiber like cloths.
Okay.
They're like ones that you would like polish your car with, basically.
Oh,
That's
okay.
like what was on the wrap when I got them in the pack of four, and they're
Yeah.
so absorbent. They're just so absorbent. Like you drop like any bit of water on it and you wipe it, it's
Just
sucked
gone.
right up. I
Yeah. Yeah.
use these. I put these under my armpit sometimes, both because
Oh, okay.
my armpits will literally just drip and drip and
Oh
drip
my
and drip
god.
to like down my arms, like because I'm
Yeah.
just so nervous. This
Oh,
used to happen to me too, like before, like when I was working. So like this is the thing where it's a lot easier for me because I can be at home, right? So
yeah.
it's like now that I have my own business, I can be nervous from home and it's just relaxing. I'm like, I just
Yeah.
remember like I would always get like the shits, like my stomach in the morning. I
Oh
get
gosh.
so nervous where like I would like literally just be sitting on the toilet just thinking I'm gonna shit myself, even though I won't even have to. It just feels like I do.
It's your
It's
physical
the
nerves. Yeah.
weirdest thing, and I'm just thinking, please, like, just stop feeling like I had it a couple days ago where I just I can't. It's like I can't control it. I see why people take medication, and I think it has a
Right.
lot to
Yeah.
do with like the drinking and like all the stuff that had
Oh
happened to
yes.
me, and
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just that's how I handled it. I handled it with drinking. That's how.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like sometimes I'll be in my apartment, I'll just be pacing back and forth. I'll be pacing. I'll be like moving things, like
Yeah.
slightly moving things here and there. Like I can't sit down. I'll like just I'm like I'll be like I'll pull chunks of hair out. I had got my hair done because
Yeah.
before that I would pull my hair out constantly, like chunks and chunks and chunks of constantly. I would sit in the mirror just pulling my hair out because I would just like want it to feel a certain way, and then when I did, it was like, oh, it's so satisfying. Oh, it's just like brutal. Like it's like the
Yeah.
weirdest thing where I'm like, I clearly have certain cases of like PTSD and like
Yeah.
anxiety and like depression, definitely. So I just like I'm really trying to like maybe just like come to terms with it and just accept it and just be
Yeah.
like, you know what, things are gonna be okay. You don't have to have the best of the best right now, because in the future things will change, and like I want to be in a house already. I just don't want to be like sitting in this apartment anymore. I want to be in a house, but it's like
Right, right.
in order to get a house you have this amount of money. So I'm like, okay, I just want to get that money right away, but I can't do that because like we're in a quarantine, and it's like I can't get certain
Yeah,
things, and it's like some people don't have jobs right now. So like I'm trying to start a new business for myself. So going to 2021, I have a new business plan.
yeah,
So I have a new plan to make a certain amount for this year. Like all these things where like I will sit in my bed and just pull my hair out and like just be thinking about these things. I'll write them
yeah,
down. After I'm done writing, I'll realize that I've went through like 8 pages of just like writing stuff down, because I'm just
yeah,
like I can't stop thinking. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna go crazy. Like if I don't start writing, I will literally go insane. And it's like from
yeah,
the
yeah,
moment I wake up. It's
yeah.
just
But
like my
that,
brain doesn't stop.
yeah, but that is the way to do it, is writing, right? Yeah, putting it down
Yeah,
is the best case scenario.
I've been writing, and like again, I've been trying to focus on putting more of my main thing was passive income. So like I was making
Yeah,
money and I'm not doing anything. That was like my main thing. I'm like, yay, it's so fun not to do anything. So I
yeah,
started like doing like social media. So I was like, okay, now I can really just like go out there, get more hands on, like
yeah,
just instead of like just getting by, now I can have a little extra more money to save, right? Just do this
yeah.
on the side. That's how you're gonna get bigger and get. So I do this, and then now I'm doing this, and it's giving me anxiety because I don't like the designs they're sending me, and I don't like them
Oh
texting
yeah,
me 24/7, and I don't like
yeah.
the getting the payments, and I don't having to deal with all this professional shit. I don't like dealing with people. I don't want to be around anybody.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like they're just
yeah,
I'm too much for some people, I think, and it's like clearly I can just go on for 20 hours, and when they hear this about their business, I'm just like, yeah, well. So instead of me doing that, I'm gonna do it for myself, which I already
yeah,
did, but I'm gonna redo it for like products and things like this
yeah,
that I can sell, and then I get more physically hands on myself and run it all from inside my apartment. That
yeah,
way, I can just feel a little bit more like physical. Like I don't like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the catering business that I'm starting. I do the social media and all that, and like
Mhm.
the advertising for it. So it's again something that's not like really that physical for me. It's just something that I'm doing online, and it's second nature for me.
Yeah, yeah. Which is,
So
yeah, like try to be as productive as possible in a way that you actually enjoy, right? Where it's like it'll give you ease. It'll be something that you're at least comfortable or familiar with to keep yourself going.
that's the part. Like I ask Aiden. I go, Aiden, how the fuck do you like? How are you able to like not have a job, right? Like he was working in England. This is an
Yeah,
example. He's working in England, right? Saved up enough money, comes back, so he has enough money to save up to for him to survive for a certain amount of months till he
yeah,
gets his permanent residence. Once he gets his permanent residence, then he can like get a job and make more income, yada yada yada.
yeah,
But what I don't understand is like how do you just like are okay with just like now you're able to just stay like I don't get how he can just like live his life now. Like in like just like he's like just like
yeah,
he just like does things that he wants to do. Like he'll just like
yeah,
he has a plan of like okay he wants to do like Twitch and things like this or whatever.
yeah,
But like I don't understand like how he can just like chill. I don't get that. I don't get
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like he's saying Darren, I don't understand what you're panicking about. You have more money
right.
than me, so what the fuck are you panicking about? I go, well, something will happen. You never know. Like, what if somebody breaks in this fucking window? Because like when I lived at my first house, we had somebody broke into my basement window,
Oh,
so I
someone
was
did
like
that. Oh
tripping
my
out.
gosh.
I was like tripping
Yeah,
out that they don't have bars in the window because like someone's gonna come here or trip out, come in here, steal all my shit. Then that's where I'll have to put all my money to the stuff. So I'm just like scared of constantly ever spending the money because I'm scared someone's gonna break into the apartment. And then he's
yeah,
like, oh no, that won't happen. I'm like, but how do you know? It's never happened to you. Like, what do you mean? Like, I got these new headphones and I'm like scared to ever wear them outside because when I moved to Hamilton the first time I got jumped and they stole my headphones
oh
and
my
my brand new
god.
phone. That's what I'm saying. It's
Oh
like
my
so many
god.
things where like that's why I'm always so cautious about things. Like I
Yeah,
don't want to park at this certain place because my dad's car always used to get broken into all the
yeah,
time. All the
yeah,
time my dad's car used to get broken into because it was a nicer car in a certain area.
yeah,
Broken in, stolen all the time. So I'm always scared to park a certain place. I'm always parking so far away from other cars. Like I
yeah,
never park like it's just like certain things where I'm like always just scared something bad's gonna happen. So
yeah. Well, I mean, to not
how do
to
you not
confirm
panic?
all your fears, but you do live in the Hammer, as it's called.
I
Obviously not all
know.
of Hamilton is bad, but the big bulk of the metropolitan area is. So
Yeah.
it's a crime-ridden city. You have a right to be
I was tripping out
cautious of the
because
world you live in.
I was tripping out because like they left like the landlord like left a shovel like by our door, which
Okay.
is like perfectly fine because like when you think about it logically, it's like you need something to shovel so that we can get like if we come out early or something and
No.
there's a bunch of snow, we would
Yeah.
need a shovel to shovel. So it's so nice of them to leave a shovel
Yeah.
there for us.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm tripping out and being like, why the fuck would they leave a shovel there? Like that's just reason for people to try to come back here and steal this shit. Like what? Doesn't make
Oh, to
any
come in
sense. Like
your
why are they?
area, right?
Yeah, I'm like that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't they put that in the garage? But it's like, but then if it's in the garage, then how am I gonna get to use it?
Right, right. You'd
Do
have
you
to
know what I
walk
mean?
through
I'm like, I'm
snow to
not
get
even
to it.
like thinking, and I could even just put it in, take it and put it into my like foyer. And I'm just thinking, but
Yeah.
it's not mine, so why would I take it and put it in my foyer? Like it's mine. But it's like maybe they're leaving it there for me to, and I'm just like constantly, I just
It's
constantly just
just
like
this thread of overthinking. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm making like scenarios of like constantly being like threats. Like I'm just getting
Yeah.
threatened. Like I just feel like people are always threatening me, and like I'm just like scared all the time. And that's like where like this business going into 2021, I'm gonna really just use all these little elements of like fear and all these things, and I'm just gonna put it into something, put my energy into
Yeah.
something, so I can just it can be something tangible that I can touch, like you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
So it's like so I don't have to be waking up panicking and like worrying about shit all the time. Like
Yeah.
I'm literally putting on deodorant like 8 times a day. Like my fucking deodorant things
Right.
is empty. I'm spending $8 on fucking
Oh
deodorant.
my
I'm like,
God.
why? This is ridiculous. Like I'm just
Yeah.
shh every minute. I'm like, this doesn't work. This shit doesn't work. Like what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
It's the most expensive deodorant. What am I supposed to do? Like
Oh well, what are you using? A spray-on
I'm
deodorant?
using yeah, it's Dove.
Oh
It's a
well,
Dove.
the spray-on's the weakest of the deodorants. Yeah,
Well,
you
I
gotta get
have
the dry, the 20 or the 48-hour dry, not the 24-hour. Get the
I
48
have
dry. That shit does not come off you. I've been in the shower before trying to get it off. It's
I
like
have. Is
cement
it the
on me.
Dove one? The Dove one?
I think it's Dove 48-hour
Yeah, I
dry.
have. I use both. I interchange both. It
Right.
just depends on what I'm wearing. Like if I'm wearing black and gray, I won't use the bar one because it'll go when I put my shirt on, it'll leave
The
little lines.
whites.
So
Yeah.
I'll use the spray. It just depends. Like if I'm wearing white, like yesterday,
Yeah.
I wore that one yesterday because I was wearing white yesterday.
Yeah.
Today I put
Yeah.
the spray on because I'm wearing darker colors. So I'll
Yeah.
just interchange. So I
Yeah.
have that, and then I have an Axe one, and I have two of the Axe ones. And the Axe ones are I
Okay.
don't even think those work because those are just
Well, it's
I look
Axe. Yeah, yeah. It's a
I
weaker
look on it,
product.
they're like it says antiperspirant or something. So I don't think that's even what it is. And then I have an Arm and Hammer one, and then
Mm.
I have one more. Which kind is
Yeah,
it?
like an
What
Old
kind is it?
Spice or something.
It's no, it's the girls' Dove one. It's a girls' Dove one.
Oh right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
thinking if maybe the girls' one would be better. It's a roll-on girls' Dove one though. So
Okay.
it's this
Wet.
doesn't work either.
Yeah.
Doesn't all it works on is my clothes. It's like what the nothing works. But it's just
Yeah.
me constantly. I think over like I'm not. It's like it can't. It's like I'm just perspiring so much that it's like it can't. There's no way it
Can't
can
be
just
helped.
keep all that. It can't keep. It'll come down my armpit, like down my ribs, in like drips,
Oh
or
my
down
gosh.
my arm, or down my like my arms, like one down my almost down my like by my elbow. So I'll be like, why does my elbow kind of feel cold? And then I'll do it, and it's like, oh, there's sweat dripping down my elbow.
Oh my gosh. You got to get so you got to level up. The antiperspirants aren't working for you. You got to get like I forget what they're called, but you can get these sports things. Well, so you know how you can get like headbands. Whatever that material is, it's
Okay.
basically a sponge to like soak up sweat. If you were to get one for your waist and you just hike it
Yeah.
up to as close as you can to your elbows and just leave it there, you know, it's almost like a diaper
Yeah.
for your
Okay.
elbows. It'll just soak up all the wetness, and then after
I need
like
that.
8 hours, you take it off, you throw it in the wash. I
I
don't
need
know. I don't
that.
know if that'd be a better thing, but I know that that exists. There's something out there that you can get that's like just a larger version of a headband that you can like put around your waist. Except you
Yeah.
would want to hike it up to like, you know.
And I need a diaper, I guess, too. Because
Yeah,
like
right. Don't need a diaper. Well, if you're sweating through your butt, I mean, I guess yeah.
yeah, that's the thing where it's like I
Yeah,
literally will go like I'm not even kidding.
yeah,
It is brutal because I feel bad because like I do a lot of laundry and like I try not to do a lot of laundry, but it's like I sweat so much that I have to like change my clothes all the time.
yeah.
Underwear being one of them. I yesterday went through like I'm even looking now, like seeing if they're around. I think yeah, so at night I went through three so through the day I went through 4 pairs of underwear. From the
Damn.
moment I wake up,
Yeah,
I'll I have to change my underwear because like I will wake up and my underwear will be like soaked in sweat
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
I was having nightmares or
yeah,
whatever. I'm just perspiring, so you soak
yeah.
sweat, change that. Then I start my day. Start my day. I'm sweating constantly by like new. So already once I've already changed my underwear twice already. So I'm in
Yeah.
a new pair of underwear right now, and I've already changed it from since this morning.
Yeah.
because
Well, at
this
least you're
morning.
staying clean. You could always just stay in the
Well, then
sweaty
I
underwear
right
all day.
after this I want to go shower. After this right now I want to go shower. That's why I also got a bidet because my ass is always sweating, always. And I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like I
yeah, yeah.
can't. I'm
So it's
like,
worth the
what's wrong
wash.
with me? Do I have something wrong with me? But I think it's honestly just it's my
Nerves.
anxiety. It's like it's
Yeah.
I
But
know
the
when
the
it,
fact
it,
that
it
you're
happens at
getting
certain times. Like
yeah. But I'm just wondering because you're getting such a physical reaction. Well, not like I'm going to go around like recommending meds, but there can be something specifically for that, right? Because if the antiperspirant ain't doing it, you can always just talk to your local doctor and see if there's something that because as far as trying to help your own mind, that's just something that has to be done through everything that you're trying to do, right? Like try and find your goals, try and be at ease and find peace and stuff. But as far as the physical um, maladies go, I mean, I'm sure there can be something for that. But I've it's one of those things where I've never sweat that much before. I can only imagine. I feel like I would definitely I'd be doing the exact same thing as you. I feel like I would just be constantly switching things out every time because I hate feeling
yeah, I
unclean.
just
So
changed.
yeah,
Yeah, I just like my t-shirts. Like I feel bad because like I just my t-shirts. I just changed instantly. I try honestly not to wear white. I wore white yesterday,
yeah.
and I wore like a black sweater like over like Carlton style, like
Oh
from
right,
like
yeah,
Freshman to Bel-Air. So like I wore something like over like that, and I was just so insecure the whole time because I'm just thinking this shirt's gonna be yellow after I'm done taking it off. Like I have to change this, so I just changed
right,
it.
yeah,
Like I wore it for like 2 hours of the most, but I felt happy because I got the look. Like I
yeah,
was like, oh, I feel happy because like it was the look I was going for, and
yeah.
like I felt good because like we don't get to go anywhere, so I still dress. I like to still
Yeah, you
dress
still want to
myself
look
every
nice.
morning. I dress myself.
Yeah,
I still get every like I do my extent. Like I want to look proper. Yeah, like I want to be a professional, so I try to be
yeah,
professional, look professional, be professional. You know.
yeah.
And yeah, I had to change. Like literally, by like this time, I would change again. Like again. Like right now,
Yeah, no
after this,
kidding.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
shower. I'm gonna go
Oh,
shower, and then that would
yeah,
be 3 times I'm changing, and then again, I'd probably change again, maybe later in
yeah.
the day, and then or just before bed again,
Right, yeah,
which is usually 3 or 4 underwear a day. That's what I go through. I have
yeah,
so much underwear, it's unbelievable. Like it's
yeah.
unreal.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
just
gotta say,
cannot.
for someone dealing with what you're dealing with, you look better than me. But that's a me problem. I feel
Oh
like.
stop! Oh
Come
stop!
on,
What do you mean?
yeah.
That's why I don't understand. Like how everybody's saying this always. People are saying, "Oh, dude, you're like." Sometimes I'll get dressed to Aiden's like, "Wow, you look so good." He's like wearing the same clothes that I, which I'm like, "How?
Yeah,
How are you just like?" I'm like, "How can I just? Why can't I just be like that? Why can't I just like just chill and just like be relaxed and like
yeah,
not be so harsh on myself?" Like I thought in my head, I'm like, I'm never this harsh to other people like I am to myself. Like I look in the mirror, I'm like, I hate the way I look. I hate my physical. Like I hate everything. And then like that's one thing that I read in the article about never being satisfied. You need to learn to love yourself before anything, like all this. And I'm thinking,
yeah, yeah.
what the fuck? Like I'm trying my
What
best
am
here.
I
Like
trying
I'm
to
trying to
do?
do
Yeah,
what I do. Like
yeah,
I'm just so annoyed. I'm just like I can't find like a middle ground where I'm just like that's really nice of you to say, but it's like to me, I'm thinking I'm a failure. You're doing way better than me because you're in an
yeah,
apartment in Toronto. You're with your
yeah.
girlfriend. You get it, doing whatever you guys need to do. You're
I was
getting your
living at my
Xboxes. You're
parents'
doing
house
your thing.
before then. It's not like it's
So was
you're
I.
independent.
So was
No, no,
I.
no. But for way like you've been on your own for way longer.
So yeah, true. But I and yeah, okay, fair enough. But like, still, that's the way I just see things. That's the way I see
Right.
things
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
myself.
You
You know,
are
to me,
your
it's just
own
it's
worst critic.
and like with Aiden, I'm like, how are you just like able to just
Just chill.
like just chill? He's like, yeah, it's fine. You don't have to worry. Like, what is there to worry about? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, we're in quarantine. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. Well,
And I'm
hey,
just like, I
have
don't
you
know how.
have you tried doing like a meditation YouTube video, something like that, where they just play calming
I've
music and
been I've been painting. I've
yeah.
been trying to do a painting every day,
Oh
and
wow, yeah.
this week, honestly, Joe, this week has been rough for me. I don't know what is going on, but it's just my nightmares have been absolutely crazy. I woke up maybe twice thinking about my dog just crying. Then during like there was I think maybe one day of the week, I think it was maybe Monday or Tuesday of this week,
Yeah.
I just couldn't think at all. I just wake up and I'm just like, please, can I'm just like praying sometimes. Like I'm literally just like, please, something, anything. I just need this pain to go away. I don't know what it is. It's just I
Yeah.
have this constant worry of like something bad's gonna happen, because it's like
Yeah.
you can never just be this secure.
Hmm. Without something.
Something has to come and like shake it up. So I'm just constantly like on like ready for it. Like I'm just like, okay, I have this amount, like I have like a certain amount of like emergency funds stacked away. Then I
Yeah.
have this money stacked away. It's like, but you have more than enough money than you need for anything. So why the fuck are you panicking? I can't sit down now. I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, okay, what if happens like what if like something like happens where like I need to like step it up or something, like I need to start working today now ASAP, like I need to get to work, because if I don't get to work today, then like I won't, then it'll all go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Everything
it's crazy for
disappears.
me, like I was
That's just
saying.
general anxiety. I mean, that's
Yeah,
yeah. Like
it's crazy, right? It's like
yeah.
I'm like saying like I can't wait till these fucking holidays are over, because everybody's just so relaxed right now and I hate it. I just want to get back to work, like I want to get back
But
to
you
like
gotta wait
real
for the other
life.
people. Yeah.
But it's like everybody just wants to hang out and like chill and like, it's like, no, I want to get to like a certain goal ASAP, but I can't. Everything's just slowing down right now,
Yeah.
so slow. They put us in lockdown again. I go, but I'm not even in the rule of the country. Like, why are we in lockdown again? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
stupid. Why did they do this? Why did they do this to us? Like, so I had that frustration too, and I think maybe that's
Yeah.
what it is. I'm frustrated with the government. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Well,
just
I
feel
mean,
like,
hey, I gotta say, at least the finance minister, stepped down. But yeah, our leadership is definitely not as good as it could be at the moment. Like the temporary lockdown, that was the stupidest thing ever. So it's like the current full lockdown, although it is annoying, should have happened back in like October or November, right? It's
should have
weird
happened
that we have
way.
to wait until it's too late
It should
because
have
the numbers
like
are already
not
huge.
ever ended. Why did it end?
Yeah, yeah. The first, well, obviously that'd be the best case scenario. Yeah, but they're
That's what
just
I
like,
was thinking.
we
I'm
need
thinking,
businesses to be up for summer. That was their whole thinking.
but this is what I don't get though. It's like, but
Yeah,
you're contradicting that. Like that's what I don't understand. Like, as how is it that it's just because it's run by money? That's what I'm saying by like,
yeah.
how is it that everybody
Big
that's
money
up
too, not
higher,
small money.
everybody that's up higher is making these decisions for people that don't have any money, and that's where I feel like something bad could happen. Like something where it's
Yeah,
like just like these people's businesses, like these people put all their money and everything in their businesses, and then there's somebody up there just goes, yeah, well, you have to close.
yeah. You got to close, but Walmart doesn't. So get fucked,
So
small
it's like,
businesses.
what do you mean I have to close? Why do I have to close? But it's like you're not even going to support me. What do you
Yeah,
mean? But
exactly.
then they're making their paychecks. They're making their money.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
doing what they want to do.
yeah.
So it's like, but if I
It's
had
going to cause
money
a lot
though,
of
if they
resentment.
had money though, if people,
Mm.
how tell me you have not seen celebrities, you've not seen many people on social media
Yeah,
just doing whatever the fuck they're doing. That
yeah,
I on YouTube this morning.
yeah.
Hey, sorry, I'm only gonna be doing one upload. This and it's so funny because the comments just destroyed this girl, because
Why? What'd you say?
they're like, why the fuck is this popping up on my feed? Congratulations, question mark. Anyways, it was saying, hey, sorry, I'm only gonna be doing one upload this week because I just got engaged and me and my fiance are on vacation.
Oh
I'm
no.
sorry, but are we in a fucking pandemic? Where are you going on vacation? I don't understand. I want to be on
Yeah,
vacation, but we're in a
yeah.
fucking pandemic.
Everyone would like. Who the fuck are
How
you?
is this
Like,
possible? In
yeah.
New Year's, people were. I'm seeing celebrities
Mm.
in clubs, full clubs.
Oh my god.
Where are you located where that you could even get in
America.
that club? It's called
Yeah,
money. If you have money, you can just do whatever the fuck you want. When
yeah,
you have money, it's all these celebrities, all influencers, all these people that have this fucking. I was watching on the news. On the news. This is on the news. They're
yeah.
saying this guy is the sexiest man alive. He's in the rated sexiest man alive. He's an influencer, doctor something, but he's a doctor
Okay.
on YouTube. So he's a
Yeah,
doctor.
yeah,
But he's like one of those doctors that like he looks like he just graduated. He's like 26. He's a doctor.
yeah,
He's probably like a doctor that just goes, here, take this paper and like send you to somewhere else. Anyways, but that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
What is this bullshit? Why is he on the magazine?
What
Okay,
the
who
fuck?
cares? He has a
Yeah,
following, whatever.
yeah,
His ass is on a yacht with all these fucking girls that have light surgery, huge
right.
boobs,
Yeah,
and all these like two guys in the picture. Him, tons of like literally just tons of girls. He has to make
yeah.
a public announcement apology. First of all, what do you mean? Why are you even apologizing? You're a fucking asshole. One to begin with.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
just an
Don't even
asshole.
apologize. Just stick with your character and be an
Just stay
asshole.
like just be who you are.
Be like,
Because
fuck you guys. I don't apologize. Yeah,
you're just apologizing because you have to. Your
yeah,
brand says that you have to apologize. Okay, fine. Of course you're gonna apologize, but
yeah.
let's be serious. You guys just nominated somebody that's the hottest, sexiest man alive But I'm watching the guy's videos. He's a fucking tool. Like, he's a loser. But
Yeah.
then you go, he just has, because he has blue eyes and brown hair, he's praised automatically. Like, fuck that. I just can't stand stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not even about like his hair color or just, it's just a physical, like, that's what he looks like Chris Evans or whatever, the
Yeah.
Captain
Yeah.
America
Yeah.
guy. It's just like
Yeah. Yeah.
people that fit like a certain stereotype. It's like, is that Zac Efron? I can't tell. Oh no, it's
Yeah.
it's Zac Efron. Oh, is it Zac Efron? No, it's the guy from Gossip Girl, Chase
Right.
Crawford.
It's one of the other Chris's. There's like a
Oops.
million Chris's.
They all look the same. They all look
Chris
the damn
Evans, Chris.
same. They just put the
Yeah.
same people in the same. But how come these people are all the people that are breaking the rules?
Yeah. So
But
yeah, it's funny you're mentioning how
we
there's
are the ones
yeah
that can't go see our family.
yeah.
Go see your family if you want to go see your damn family. Who the fuck cares? Like, seriously, who the
I
fuck
didn't
cares
infect
really?
them. I
That's why I
swear.
feel bad saying. No, I'm just saying. That's why I feel. I just do what you want to do, but I feel bad just being like all men for all men. That's what I'm saying. If
Mhm.
all men for all men, if anybody wants to do whatever they want to do it. Because at this point, are they not doing that? So why would the lower do it? So that's why I think I have a problem with money, where I want to have a certain amount of money where no one can control me. No one. I have
Yeah.
enough to be like, shut your fucking mouth. Here you go. I'm out. Peace. I'm
Yeah.
going on vacation, and I don't have enough money for that. So I think that's what's. And again, maybe that might buy me happiness, but I don't care. Then I don't have to deal with this stuff. I can
Right.
just say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm in Mexico. Bye. I'm just sitting in a hotel in Mexico. See ya."
Yeah. Yeah. Dang. Well, I just want to mention the whole like person on the yacht, and they all kind of fit that stereotype. I recently watched the movie Sorry to Bother You. I don't know if you had heard of that one or seen it. It's a couple years
Does that
old.
bother you?
Yeah, Sorry to Bother You. It's got the guy from the
I feel
beginning of
bad
Get
saying
Out.
that too.
What's that?
Yeah.
But sorry. So yeah, the whole point of the movie is the main character is a telemarketer, and he's like working and he's not making that many sales, and then one of his coworkers is like, "Hey man, you're not doing it right. You gotta put on a white voice." And he's like, "Well, growing up, everyone always kind of said I got a white voice." And they're like, "No, no, 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 not like just sounding like you don't have like an accent like from the Bronx. You got to talk like you own a yacht. You don't give a shit if this sale comes through because you're a millionaire. Like you're just gonna go
Just have
off and
so
like
much money.
play tennis. Yeah, yeah. It's like you don't have a fucking care in the world. That's the white voice you need." And he's like, "Okay." And then he starts doing it, and then they literally dub over his voice with like Patton Oswalt or someone, like just some super dorky sounding like like guy was just like, "Hi there, have you seen whatever?" And he
Yeah.
starts like doing that in his telemarketing, and then he just becomes super successful,
That like
becomes like one of the
voice.
best. And it's so funny because it's like that's the guy that you're
Oh,
talking about, that doctor, that
that's
influencer.
exactly the point.
That's the
Is
fucking
that
asshole. That's the
exactly?
guy, yeah. And he's so
And like,
successful because he just acts like he doesn't have a care in the world,
and
and
like,
he's just doing whatever
sorry
the
if
fuck he
I don't want to
wants.
offend anybody. Like, all you beautiful blue-eyed, brown-haired people. Like, I
Well,
love that.
it's a
Like, I love
stereotype.
Megan
It's
Fox. She's beautiful. Like, Megan
yeah,
Fox
right.
is one of
Oh,
my
okay.
most
Like,
beautiful. She's a blue. She has dark hair, blue eyes. I just think it's beautiful. That's such a beautiful combination. I love dark hair, blue eyes. Like, I think it's beautiful. But I think that it's just the fact of like, it's nothing. Like, it's just they're so quick to give somebody something for nothing. It's like
yeah,
he's
yeah,
just a doctor. He hasn't done anything special. There's so many other doctors that are doing so much better, doing so many
yeah,
better things. But because he's somewhat good looking and and talks about things on YouTube that aren't even like when you're watching the channel, it's like it's not even. He's telling people every day on the channel to go not doing COVID. Da da da.
yeah.
But then you're gonna like
And
it's
then
all
still
it.
plans a
It's
party.
not. It's all it is. It's just I'm thinking I have money. I don't want to be in quarantine. I can do whatever I want to do. Like, why
Yeah,
wouldn't you? When it
rules don't
the reason
apply.
why
That's
all of us again, the reason why all of us are mad, the reason why all these businesses are mad, all these people are mad is because y'all don't have money and because we don't have money and they're not giving us money. That's why. That's all it comes down to. It always comes down to money.
yeah. Unfortunately, but yeah, it's general finance.
Right?
I guess we can say that.
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
have enough money to pay your bills, you're fine. If you have money to pay your bills and then have money left over to eat and then have money left over, it's like a miracle in this day and
yeah,
age for
yeah,
people because they're making it so hard for people. So I don't ever want to be in that situation. So
yeah,
I'm to the point where it's like I felt like for them to take that much money from me for my dog to be literally on life support for less than like an hour, it's like on an hour to
hmm
take that much money is robbery. Like that's like something
yeah,
where like it's clear that we have to do this so we can put the price to whatever we want. So okay, I
yeah,
see what
yeah,
y'all want to do. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you all the money because obviously I want to. But
It's not like there's a competition. There's not other businesses giving you better deals. There's just that one
yeah,
veterinary place.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the car insurance, or like when people somebody was mentioning I don't know what it was. It was something like oh yeah, it was I watched a documentary on I love documentaries, by the way. Those are one things that I'll sit through. I love a good
Oh, okay.
documentary.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love learning things. That's the thing. I love the
Yeah.
way people think, but it was the burger one, the burger guy. He eats McDonald's, Super Size Me, but it's a
Oh,
two.
okay.
He starts his
Okay.
own business. He starts a chicken business where he starts a
Okay.
restaurant, chicken restaurant, and it's
Yeah. Yeah.
dope. Like the documentary is so good because it's literally him
Yeah.
showing all the ins and outs of like what
A
pretty
restaurant.
much pretty much this like the world pushes out to us and we just accept and take and don't question at all. Crispy,
Right.
fried, like people will just buy crispy because it's not fried. But it's just like so many
Yeah.
things where it's like they'll put advertisements and things in your face where you're so constantly like you're just like groomed, almost like how Michael Jackson groomed the world kind of thing, where it's like
Oh my
you're just
God. Yeah.
groomed. You're just thinking this is
To
healthy,
accept
this is
it.
that, but nobody
Yeah.
questions it because it's like we're so used to it, and
Yeah.
it's so ingrained into our like. Oh, it's just such a good documentary.
Well,
It's such a
yeah,
good
yeah.
documentary.
It's general marketing, almost is what it sounds
It's
like.
so good.
Marketing is conditioning people to believe a certain thing or to accept certain facts.
That's what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
News, everything. All that
Yeah.
stuff is just meant for you. It's like drones just thinking a certain way. And it's like nobody wants to like just think for themselves and just think, hey, you know what? Why is this happening this way? Or why is this they just were okay with like and then when it starts to affect them, like now I don't have any money to pay my bills. Oh, now I don't have enough money for my family. Now you're mad. Now everybody's now questioning it. Oh, well, this
Yeah,
is
and they go, why are people
but you weren't
respecting
questioning
our
it
things that we're
before.
setting up? Yeah.
But it comes down to the money. If you people all had money supporting getting money from the government, I don't think it would be that hard for people to be in quarantine.
Everyone would do it, especially if they said
Right?
you only get the money if you stay indoors, except for
Yeah.
valuables. Or whatever. Yeah,
Right?
then everyone would do it. Everyone would stay inside.
Yeah. I
If
find
they
it like
give them money, they'll do it.
super odd to me. Like again, like there's the Amazons and like there's so many other like there's an example would be like for me is we're right now we're in a 100% lockdown, right?
Mm.
But why, when I go on Uber Eats, am I paying $4.99 for a delivery charge? Like, doesn't make any sense. Like, I understand
Yeah,
that the
that should all be
person,
free.
I understand
No, no,
that
no.
the
But that
person
person
has to
should
be
find.
getting compensated by the business. That's what I don't understand. Like, everybody else is benefiting, but we aren't. We're still struggling. We're still going in the fucking risking our life to go pick up somebody else's A&W to bring me my A&W so that I can pay double the amount of money that I don't
Yeah,
have to do it. Hell no. Hell
yeah,
no. I would go to the grocery store and make a yesterday. I wanted to get Popeyes.
yeah.
I don't give a damn. I wanted to get Popeyes. Popeyes is open. Why is Popeyes open? You know,
That is
pandemic.
weird.
Popeyes is
Yeah,
open.
that is just you can walk in. Yeah,
So you just walk at Popeyes. I look on the thing and you get a bucket of chicken, sides, and like biscuits. $40. I went to the grocery store for $24. I went to the grocery store. I got 10 chicken legs. Right, barbecue. This like in like a barbecue season barbecue thing because it's from Fortino, so they have like specialty like items and all that shit.
yeah,
And I got like a pizza bread. And yesterday I made rice, corn, gravy, chicken legs, and what else did I have with it? That was it. And like pizza, like these like pizza sticks for like appetizers. That's what I have for
yeah,
dessert. $24, leftovers, all that jazz.
yeah.
The chicken would have cost me $40 something.
No kidding.
And it's like half the.
Yeah,
It's like 8 pieces of chicken. I'm like,
yeah,
what? Like what? I don't understand like the value. But yet, and then they want me to deliver that, get that delivered because they don't want me to go
yeah.
outside and drive and get there. But yet, what about like it's just like I don't understand like how they're taking all this money from me, but I can just go
Right.
to because of convenience. I can just go to the grocery store. That's how I save the money. I went to the grocery store and just saved $20-$30. Did that? Boom, done. That's how I save my money. I am cheap. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you should be. It's a competition of the market, right? Because maybe that will change Popeyes to not charge so damn much. Because that is weird. Why are they charging so
yeah,
much? That's crazy.
but Popeyes can like be opened, right? And like
Yeah,
because they have the money to be opened to get the customers to stay open, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
yet the government can't say you guys have to close. The government can
For
say
some
to
reason.
my business that I worked hard for, like
Yeah,
the places that I worked for are businesses that like I used to work with, like people that are working one on one with me, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna save up money and start my business. People that like people do that, and now they have to close their businesses down because the government says you can't do that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go on vacation. Okay, see y'all later.
Yeah.
But
And
they don't.
again, at least there were consequences for that guy, but there's so many other things that just people don't get consequences for that are like in the people in places of power. It's insane. And yeah, and then we're getting this insane imbalance with big businesses being able to stay open and small businesses being fucked. It's like this is how you cause a civil war. Like what the fuck are you guys doing? Like this is insane. You're making the poor like hate
Really
you when they
sad.
otherwise would have been subservient. So it's like
Really
all right, get
sad.
ready for voting season, I guess, because that's the only power we got in this case.
It gives me
So
horrible anxiety. It gives me horrible anxiety, and I think I just like I can't wait for this to be over. Like I can't wait for
yeah,
just things to start like getting back to like I just don't know how people do it. I don't know how you're doing. How are you surviving your day to day? Like how is it for you?
for me, I don't know. I'm just living life. Like I try to keep myself busy, so it's like I'm well, and I'm just writing. I guess I don't know. So it's similar to you, but I'm not writing about the goals or anything. I'm just working, and plus also until I hear otherwise, I still have that TV show I'm working on. So it's like I just I'm working as a
Yeah.
servant. So I'm just as I'm doing that, I'm also just looking into other projects. But um, I don't have that mind. I don't have a business mind. So maybe that's the difference, right? Is
Like,
that you
don't you
actually
feel
have a business
constantly
mind.
worried all the time though? Like, I just feel. I know you do, obviously
No,
don't,
no.
but I just feel like that's me. Like, I wake up and I'm just worried that something like I don't. Like, I literally the moment I woke up, I
Yeah.
instantly think like my rent is due at like
Yeah.
next week, even though like I already have that money ready set to go. Like that, I'm thinking about how can I make that money back in like the shortest amount of time, so that like
It's as if it never left in the first
it
place.
never even left my account.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
That's
think through.
general anxiety. That sounds
It's
like
horrible. It's
yeah,
horrible.
but that and again, I don't want to be a pill pusher because I know the pharmaceutical industry is evil as fuck. But general anxiety, there is like a healthy, medication that you can take for that that won't, cause any adverse effects. It just depends
Yeah,
on
maybe I'll
whatever
look
you're
into.
recommended. But yeah, that at the very least is an option worth checking out because yeah, there are like what you're just saying how Aiden kind of doesn't have that issue even though he should situationally. And then
So
I
I'm
feel
saying,
like
like in a
yeah,
situation, you think he would like
I
be
I at
more
least have job
well.
security, so I'm not as worried. But like, I still am worrying way less than you, even though yeah, you are the most financially successful out of everybody. In this
I
three
feel
person
like I
situation,
feel like a failure. I feel like a failure. I
which
don't know
doesn't make
why
sense.
though. That's the crazy thing. It doesn't make
Yeah,
any sense. It's like
yeah,
I
yeah,
just feel like on the inside, that's how I feel. Like I feel like I'm never good enough. Like I feel like I'm
yeah.
just never ever like, and that's where I'm really gonna try to just focus this year more on myself and not focus so much on like money and like. It's like crazy for me to like constantly just like this is like a painting I did like a little while for 2020. I just did this. I don't know. Oh yeah, you
Oh,
won't be
it's
able to see it.
invisible. Wait, I can kind of see it. It's a little bar. Is
I
that
don't
from
know
like a
how you'll be able
commercial?
to see it. Here, I'll take out my background. Hold on.
Oh snap! We're entering the real world. The Matrix. The facade is gone.
Just paint like for 20
Hermes.
for
Yes.
2020. It's just like a
Yeah, no
little. It's
kidding.
like the Monopoly boy just taking all the money.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my god. That looks
Yeah.
like a
So
Trump son.
I'm just like, bruh. I just made that for my room, like decorations for my room.
Yeah, that's
So
really
that's what
good.
I want. Thanks. And then like I've been painting some more. Have you been doing any paintings
No, I'm
or
bad
anything
at
like that?
painting, so I don't paint.
Oh yeah, I did a painting like what? Yes. Well, I didn't. I took a break yesterday, but I was
Okay.
and this is like the day that I was like just super stressed out and like I
Yeah.
couldn't even like think. I tried to paint to get my mind off of it, and I just the painting turned out so bad that I just was like I have to take a break for a couple of days. But I
Right.
did. I've been trying to do a painting every day. I did two moon ones like at the beginning of the week.
Okay.
Those turned out good. Those turned out okay. So I was like, okay, I can put these on the wall, start a collage, get focused with that.
Yeah.
But the one that I worked on a couple, like yeah, no, I had to literally, I haven't even touched it. I put it on the wall. I'm like, I hate this painting so much. I've never hated a painting so much in my life. But
Jeez.
it's like my frustration is like just on on the
It's
canvas or something. I don't know how to describe it.
yeah. So just you don't like even looking at it because it's just
Yeah,
yeah.
it's brutal.
Dang.
But the other two turned out good. So
Yeah. That's good.
alrighty then. Yeah.
And play yeah, just keep it up because they say practice is the best thing because or no, what do they say? Um, what is it? Something about how like the people like a famous painter, someone like Leonardo da Vinci or someone like that, right? It's like he's known for maybe like 10 great works of art or something, right? The biggest one is the Sistine Chapel, but it's like he's known for the stuff, but nobody talks about the other like 10,000 paintings that he's done that are just like not good. You know, like it's
Exactly.
one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like
True.
the greatest artists or greatest creators of the world got that way by having like three masterpieces out of like 10,000
Oh.
failures.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
so yeah, it's just one of those things where you don't see it. It's almost like the Facebook veil where it's like you only see the best side of things of what people are presenting to you, but it's like it's no, it took like it's all this shit. They're just workers. They're just people who work, and they
Oh,
just so happen to
wow.
create these masterpieces out of the lifetime of work that they've created. Yeah.
Yeah. And some of them are pretty good. Like, but I wouldn't call mine.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go get mine too, just to end it. I'll show you the two
Okay.
that I
Okay. Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah. Show us
ended on
the
a
work of art.
positive note.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me just go grab them real quick. I'll show you.
Okay.
'Cause,
Yeah.
like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm like, instead of like being negative, like, damn, let me just show this
Let's do it
positive.
on a
And
positive note.
give me
Yeah.
one
Yeah. Yeah.
sec.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. So now that it's just the audience and myself, I'm gonna start doing some foot tricks. I can show you guys. For some reason, my muscles work fine in my leg, but the bone itself does not. I can rotate it all around. I can shimmy. Boop, boop, boop. And we're back.
Broken limbs.
Yeah, I was doing some foot tricks. I was like, look what I can do.
So yeah, I've been trying to essentially do a painting like of this size every day. Oh yeah, I have to change my
Oh,
background off.
nice, nice. Yeah, little guy.
So it's like they're not too big, so
Yeah.
that's why I think they're able for me to do every day. But the one that I hate, it actually I don't know what it is.
Wow.
It's like the one that I hate. It was a little bit bigger because I used a canvas that Aiden had left over, and I don't
Yeah.
usually use that type of canvas, and it's like a thin
Okay.
type of. So I think that kind of like threw me off a bit.
Yeah.
But this is just one. It's like a moon. I don't know how to like.
Yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, I can
I
see it.
love
So
moon for
good.
some reason. I don't know why. It's like
Because
a
it's
moon
beautiful.
cutting through the clouds kind of thing. It's almost
Yeah.
like that scene in Wonder Woman, kind of like that, where she's like in
Oh,
the
sure. Yeah.
clouds.
Yeah.
It's kind
Yeah.
of actually like that a little bit. So it was kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
close. And then I did this one to like match it.
Oh
So,
my God,
and then
that's
I'm gonna do like
gorgeous. Supermoon.
yeah, because there was like there's always supermoons at the end of the month, right? So and
Yeah,
then I'm
yeah.
gonna
And plus,
do
when it's rising on the horizon, it's always its largest, right? So when it's
yeah,
close.
it'll match, and then I'm gonna do like another. I'll do like a third one. I'm just gonna keep doing them like until I have like a whole
Yeah, because
collage of
that's
them,
beautiful.
and then just thank you. I appreciate that. Like that's like I like enjoying that. I like can take compliments for that, but other things I'm just like fuck. I'm the worst. I hate everything.
Oh my God.
Life
Yeah.
is shit. I'm the
Hey, always
worst.
room for improvement at the very least, right? Even when it comes to mental health. So you at least know that going into it. Yeah.
I'm horrible with it. But yeah, man. So that's 2021 for me. Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm hoping just to like kind of kick some of this anxiety,
Yeah.
put a lot of it into this business that I'm starting. Like I'm really excited to do it. It's basically a clothing line. Basically, I'm starting a clothing line
Yeah.
for myself because I
Yeah.
have so much merchandise of my own that like I should just start selling it eventually. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna do
Yeah.
that. That's
I'll
it
be a
for
happy
2021.
merchant of it as well, right?
Man.
I got. You show me some options. I'll choose my favorite,
All right, sounds good.
and I'll
Sounds
go
good.
through it. I will happily be a patron for you. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice.
ending things on a good note. What about
Yeah.
you? How's 2021
Fuck.
looking for you?
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that I can just fix my bones if they start, molding back together and healing, and then I can escape. Then I can kick misery. She's
True
still
that.
looking at me. I mean, just kidding. But if I happen to somehow escape this place without dying, then I'll just keep working my way to you. And then aside from that, just keep writing. I guess. I mean, that's
Well,
what I have been doing. I have yet to find success with it, but maybe in the future, who knows? We'll
yeah,
see
you
what
just got
happens.
to keep pushing it out, man. Just keep doing
Yeah,
your thing. It'll, it always comes out.
it'll come around eventually, right? Yeah, just keep working, as they say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just keep doing what you love. That's the thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah. So it's a great way to end it. I feel like it was a
Yeah,
great chat with you, Darren. Honestly, I feel like I learn so much from you every time now.
I know. I feel
I
like
feel
it's
like
like a
I should be
therapy.
contributing more, but I have such a boring life. I don't have much to talk about.
What?
I can talk
What? Oh
about
my
things I'm
goodness.
interested in. I can say that much.
You talk
But yeah,
about so many interesting things, and I'm always like your perception. And like, for me, I'm thinking I'm just talking about random crap. Like I'm just like, damn, I'm just like going off all the
talk
time.
about your life. No, no, no. That's
I'm like so
beautiful. I love it.
stressed out about everything. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
like Lord.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Either
like
way.
anything's on a positive. Like,
Yeah,
hope you have a good week going into the first week of 2021. Basically,
that's right.
everybody listening. I hope 2021 is great for you. If you do have your goals or whatever, don't let my negativity shun you from that because you
That's
already
right.
know it is what it is. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And just have a great rest of your year, I guess. That's the way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting a knock at the door actually. So in real life, so I'm gonna go get that. Yeah. But it was great
Okay.
talking, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Take it easy,
Bye
guys. Bye.
bye.